Terry, it's not my imagination, but last night we did our interview standing up. Is it a superstitious Terry Ruskowski trying to end a 5-game losing streak?
Seems like every time I have an interview with you, Barry, we don't seem to do very well, so maybe we're going to give you a last chance here tonight.
Terry, you had an extra long meeting with the team. Why?
Well, we're going over different systems that we're going to try in the power play today, and we want every player to get familiar with what we're doing and understanding it on paper before we put it on the ice. It's just that we haven't been scoring many goals lately, and hopefully our power play will work tonight, and we can do some positive things scoring-wise. And if our power play does work, maybe it'll take the little hoax off of scoring on a regular shift.
You changed things up also, and I know it isn't superstition. Why Troy Gamble back-to-back after a loss last night?
Well, it wasn't an easy decision. I love both my goaltenders. I think they're very, very qualified people, and they're very character people. And it's a decision that we both sat down, both goalies and myself. We felt that Gamble played here. He knows the shooters a lot better. He played very well last night, and hopefully that magic that he had last night and playing very well will continue tonight.
Any other changes we should look for, Roscoe?
Well, we're going to add another forward to our roster because we only have 5 defensemen with the injury of Steve Goslin. So we're going to have we'll put Townshend back in the lineup and go with an extra forward, and hopefully his big body and presence will help us maybe get more physical in the game against the Admirals. Because the scoop is if you hit them down deep, we'll have a better chance of scoring.
Terry, good luck. Look forward to seeing you tonight in a winning Aero locker room.
Thank you, Barry. Me too.
And we'll be back with more action from the phenomenal Bradley Center live in Milwaukee on Paramount 20.
Welcome to Bradley Center, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. It's the Aeros and the Milwaukee Admirals. And we get set for some good IHL action. The Aeros trying to snap a 5-game losing skid as we take a look at the starting goaltenders. First for the Aeros, Troy Gamble making his 2nd consecutive start. 8, 9, and 3. And a goals against average of 3.48, 89.2 on the save percentage. In goal tonight, Bob Mason for the Milwaukee Admirals. Mason in his final game of a 25-game tryout, so that's why they want to give him a look tonight. He'll defend the goal to our left, Gamble in the goal to our right, of course, the former Milwaukee Admiral himself. And we're underway. Here is Pat McLeod for the Milwaukee Admirals. Rolled the puck to Dave Mackey, and he turned it over. Arneal shoots, scores! Scott Arneal, 13 seconds into the hockey game, and Scott Arneal says, I've had enough of this offensive woe. Woe is me. Boom in the net, 1-0 Houston.
Adam, you think you knew something about our Ashman's game plan when we said finish the play? Exactly what happens. Arneal, who's celebrating today his favorite pro football team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, just taking advantage of the turnover, and boom, just lights it up with a great wrist shot.
Well, that is not like Dave Mackey to turn the puck over like that. And like that, it's 1-0 Houston. Scott Arneal with a goal. How's that for a jump? 13 seconds into the contest. Puck in Milwaukee territory. Ken Paitner takes a bump along the boards by Freer. Now the Admirals trying to clear it. Townsend running along the boards as he pumps Sylvain Couturier along the near side. Now Townsend and Painter going at it behind the cage. It rolls to the far corner. Pat McLeod takes a bump from Arneal. Right wing. Here's Arneal. Sends it in for Robinson. It went off the skates, and here come the Admirals now. It is shoveled at center and knocked away by Arneal. Scott Arneal backhands it into Milwaukee territory. Painter goes back for it, watched by Eaves. Now send it along the near side. Sylvain Couturier to center, and Shargorodski is there for Houston to dump it back in. We've played a minute in the hockey game, and if you're just joining us, yeah, the Aeros lead it by a score of 1-0 as the Admirals shoot the puck down. Icing will be the call of Shargorodski there. You know, Barry, I want to make a point here for those of you looking at the ice and going, why does it look so barren? There are no ads on the ice. There are no rink boards. Well, when Lloyd Pettit purchased and built Bradley Center and also the hockey team, he wanted to see hockey the way it should be, or the way he feels it should be, the olden days. That's why the boards are empty. They don't sell rink board advertising. They don't put ads on the ice, and it adds that kind of effect. It almost looks like you're watching a game back in the olden days.
You mean the days when I started watching hockey?
Back when they didn't have Zambonis? Yeah, you're right. Okay, puck now controlled by the Milwaukee Admirals, and it's back into Houston Aero territory. Here's Oleg Shargorodski now. Puck along the near side. Shargorodski wrapped up by Brian Dobbin. It'll come to the near side, held in at a point by Block. That's Matt Hervey Block. Feels he's got 3 names in there, and he'll put the puck into the near side. Mike Tomlak in there to dig it out. That comes into the near side. There's Dovidaris. He takes a bump from Carl Valimont, the former Milwaukee Admiral himself. Now out at center ice. Block Turns it up ice, pushed it into Aero territory, rejected by Valimont. Now Eaves trying to wrap one ahead. That hit Matt block. At center, turned around by Brian Dobbin for Milwaukee. Shoots it into Aero territory. We're going to get our first penalty in this hockey game. It's going to be to the Admirals. Shagarovsky, well, he's Kevin Dineen almost put that into his own net. Oh man, Kevin Dineen, as Gamble went to the bench on the delayed penalty. And Kevin Dineen, he had a little trouble last night. He had 7 shots on goal, couldn't score, and he almost put it into his own net there. But now the Aeros will get the power play.
That is scary with a capital S. What happens on the delay, and the goaltender just scoots out. The penalty, of course, goes the moment that the other team touches the puck. Is Matt Hervey block? Do we call him Matt Block, Hervey Block, or Block?
Whatever. And for those of you watching here, look at how close this is. Dineen's going to play the puck here, and it's he just didn't have just couldn't corral it. He was just trying to push it away and almost into the open net. That would be a goal, by the way. That would have been a goal. So the Aeros on the power play. And we go right to the Oshman's game plan once again. They were 0 of 7 last night. Let's see if they can do a little bit better. Here is Clayton Young across the line. Takes a bump from Marcinician of the Admirals. Back is Brad Rowanka. He'll be off to the All-Star game. Puck picked up by the Houston Aeros. Carl Valimont, a shot in the slot right on. Scooped up by Mason. He'll hold on with 17:50 to play here in the first period. 1-0 Houston on Scott Arneal's goal. By the way, for Arneal, it's his 19th of the year. There's a minute 45 left in the block penalty.
And what we're going to look for right now is we talked about the third point in our Oshman's game plan. Once again, Pete Dineen working the defense, helping Terry Wiskowski behind the dasher. You're going to try to see 3 arrows crashing to the net the moment that the defensemen shoot the puck on goal.
Here's Rowanka trying to clear the puck. It'll go down the ice. When we get the next whistle, if we can, I'll try and explain a little bit of what it is that Dineen will actually be doing as far as controlling the defense, what difference that makes as opposed to when he's not on the bench. Puck at center ice. Here's Carl Valimont. That's rejected by Milwaukee and right back in. So the power play woes continue. Dave Tippett told me in the airport today, he says, we're going to try and keep it simple. Dump the puck in, just move it and shoot it. They were getting too cute, he felt, and they felt, let's just move it and keep it simple. So let's see what happens here. They've got a minute 15 on the power play. Shagarovsky left side, booms one in there. Good dump in. It'll go to the far corner. Clayton Young trying to kick it along, but it was cleared by Marcinician and down the ice. Dave Marcinician, who got the game-winning goal the last time these teams played in the 7-5 win for Milwaukee. He shot it down the ice. Now the puck at center, and that's a 2-line pass, and play whistle down with 3 minutes gone. What Pete Dineen will be doing, normally when Terry Wiskowski is on the bench by himself, he's not only got to think of his line combination. Okay, we need Frere, Arneal, and Dineen, and he'll try and mix them up if he has to. Then he's also going to get his defensive pairings. What this does is now it allows Roscoe to concentrate more on the offense. He can let Pete Dineen choose his defensive combinations, and then of course, Pete, a defenseman himself, I think maybe has a little bit in the back of his mind of defense, as you see Pete there. Face off now inside the Aero zone, and Murray Eaves out there with Arneal and Kevin Dineen. I think this really helps Roscoe when you got somebody like that.
No question, it takes so much off his mind.
Off the face-off now. Here's Ken Sabourin at center ice for Milwaukee. Shoots the puck in. Dave Tippett is back. Remember now, the Aeros are on the power play, but they have yet to set it up. Here's Dave Tippett now. He'll move the puck right to left in his own zone. Tippett at center now. He'll boom one into Milwaukee territory. Kevin Dineen, he's in left circle. He's jammed by Ken Painter. Now it is picked up by Kevin Dineen, and it's cleared to the line and out to center ice. Again, the Aeros yet to just set it up right now as it's Robinson. Quickly flipped one ahead for Dineen and rolled into Milwaukee territory. Admirals are back. Painter behind the cage. Flipped it along. It was knocked away. Arneal. Dave Tippett wide shoots. Here's Dineen. Wade shot, scores! Kevin Dineen from Scott Arneal and from Dave Tippett. So the Aeros take a 2-0 lead 3.5 minutes into this hockey game, and they have really covered the areas we have talked about, the power play and getting off with a good start.
And a smile, a rare smile on the face of Terry Wiskowski. What they tried to do, Kevin Dineen shows why he's been an NHL All-Star. The shot comes in, men crash, a great puck, great pass, and Kevin just takes his time. He waited for the goaltender to commit. He's laying down, and then just poof, poof, just puts the sucker in. But he waited that second. Rather than firing it right away, he waited for the commit and lit it up.
Here's Sylvain Couturier the other way, and he lost the puck. Difference between that goal tonight and what would happen last night, probably would have gone off the post last night. Here's the puck in Aero territory. Mike Yeo, I thought, had a strong game. He'll push the puck to the line, watched by Herkus for the Admirals, but it's out at center ice. And now here's a chance for Chitteroni. He's offended, trying to draw the penalty, but play goes right on. Joe Ernst is our referee tonight. Tell you what, Barry, Terry Ruskowski was not holding any punches back talking about the officiating last night of Luke Galvin.
I didn't even ask him about it. We talked about the game, and he just volunteered it right away in our post-game interview.
Now the puck at center ice. 2-0 Houston. 15:44 to go here in the first. Glad to have you with us. I'm Adam Gordon with Barry Warner. Here's Mike Hill, left side, shoots the puck into Milwaukee territory. Mason out of the cage to slow for Pat McLeod, meandering in behind the net. And now it is cleared by Cavallini at center for Tony Herkus. Now the Admirals, Brad Rowenka, right wing boards in on goal. Great play by Valimont, but he's going to draw a penalty. And they jam away at the puck, and there's Gamble to close the door on it. And now we've got a little pushing and shoving going on. And while they sort this out and bring you the Milwaukee power play, we'll take time out. 2-0 Houston. More IHL action from Milwaukee after this. Face off in the circle to the right side of Troy Gamble. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. 2 minutes on the board to Carl Valimont. So we'll get a look at Milwaukee's power play. And the face off again to the right of Gamble as the Aeros have Clayton Young in there to take the draw against Mike Tomlak. Aeros win the draw. It's Robinson spanked it along the boards. Fear chipped it, or make that Maurice that chipped it out at center. And back go the Admirals now. Bob Mason out of the net. Here's Ken Painter now. I'm going to ask you a question here and see if you know what's the famous game about Bob Mason. Next whistle. What game do you remember about Bob Mason? Puck goes into Aero territory. It'll come to the near side. Now we're going to delay offsides. I thought they say no. Puck picked up by the Admirals. Here's Mike Tomlak. Right side. Rolled it down. Played by Goaltender as he centered. Painter a drive. That is deflected by Young. Ouch. That's smart. Clayton Young trying to clear it to the line. Tomlak held it in. Admirals working hard now. Brian Dobbin on the power play. Centered it. That went off skates, and the Aeros chip it ahead. Can they clear it? Here's Clayton Young. Aeros with 10 short-handed goals come to center. Maurice 2-on-1 with Young. Maurice across the line. Couldn't get the shot away. Knocked away by Mason. Here's Bob Mason, former Washington Capital, trying to play the puck ahead, and now it's out at center ice for Chris Govaderis. He'll move it across the line with Brian Dobbin. Govaderis pumped it in the near side. Back for Dobbin. Right point centered right in. Tomlak. Weak shoot. Great save by Gamble. Oh my. The Aeros defense was somehow mesmerized, and Tomlak was in alone like what would you say, a child with no brother. Unbelievable. He was all alone, and there was Gamble to stone him with a great save.
He walks in with the situation there all alone, turns, and Gamble comes up so big, as you can see. Troy Gamble, one save, and then the second when he smothers the puck as we take another look at it. The feed from Dobbin, squares, makes one extra move. Larry Robinson goes to help smother it.
Well, the Aeros with Larry Robinson on the defense there, Barry, they're bringing out Henri Richard and not Mike Maurice. It'll be Maurice Richard, and there's Guy Lafleur with the puck. Does that get you settled now?
The Jean Beliveau figure into this, he was my all-time favorite.
All right, now here's the question: is we go to Bob Mason in the pipes for the Milwaukee Admirals. What famous thing is his claim to fame?
The two-day game, the game that started on a Saturday night and ended on a Sunday morning. 5 overtimes. The New York Islanders against the Washington Capitals. He, the man in the pipes for Washington. But what a job there by Troy Gamble, because Tomlak had him dead to rights.
Face off at center ice, and the Aeros have got it. 4 overtimes. I remember sitting in my room in college. I had a test that night to study for, and I never got to it. Now the puck at center ice. Here's Oleg Shagarodsky now back in his own zone. Shagarodsky topped it back. Ooh, Kevin Grant having a little trouble with it. He'll sweep it to the line, and it goes right back down into Milwaukee territory. And out of the net, it's Bob Mason. He'll slow for Matt Block. Power play down to 13 seconds to Carl Valimont. Here comes Block, left to right, quick pass. Brad Rowenka, right side, lost the handle, but he got it back, pushed it into Aero territory. Jake's a bouncing puck. He's met by Cavallini. He'll shoot the puck down the ice. So the Milwaukee Admirals go back. Penalty now over. Teams at 5 aside. 13-19 to play here in the first. 2-0 Houston. Here is Matt Hervey Block. behind his net, snaps a pass to the left side. It came to center, and out is Dave Mackey, kind of the culprit for the Aeros' first goals. He threw it right to Scott Arneal. Back is Robinson in his own zone, trying to bank the puck ahead. It goes to the far corner. Steve Jakes has got it. Jakes roll it near side for Tippett as we've got Robinson in a battle with David Mackey. They go at it, and now the Aeros trying to clear it at center. Mackey for Milwaukee fired it into Aero territory, and Tippett's got it. He'll move it up the left side. He's got the knee breaking, but he'll shoot it in far corner. Back to get it. Pat McLeod drifting in behind his net. McLeod, he'll carry the puck, pop it up the middle. It's going to be intercepted by Jakes. Great play to hold it in, but there was a leaping McLeod to knock it down. Can he clear it? Yes, he will at center. Now it's center. It's Fabian Joseph trying to clear it for Milwaukee. It comes back to Kent Paintner. Cross-ice pass. Dumped into Aero territory by Mike McNeil. Gamble comes out of the net, and back goes Kevin Grant. Quick pass to the near side for Mike Yeo. Here comes Yeo. He'll hit the line with Pellerin as he dumps it in. Pellerin goes barreling in after it. Dave Marcinishin is there for Milwaukee. Marcinishin in the corner. Rolls it near side. Valimont's got it. Pinching. Shooting. And that was deflected away by Ken Sabarin. Along the board for Goaltender. He'll weave it up and out of center ice. Knocked away by Pellerin. Goaltender lost control. And now Brian Dobbin. Nice play for Marcinishin, or make that Goaltender rather. He goes after it. Now it is Kevin Grant to the line. Marcinishin now has got it. Left point, long shot. Stick save made by Troy Gamble. Now it is Tom Lack in the corner. Bumped by Valimont. Skate to skate along the boards. Fished out through skates by Clayton Young. He'll romp to center ice. Clayton Young hits the line. Fakes the shot now. Looks in front. Pulls up at the left circle. And here's Brian Pellerin for Houston. Pass top of the slot. Shagarodski. Right in. A drive and a right pad save made by Mason. And the puck is cleared at center ice. 11:28 to go here in the first period. Houston leading this hockey game 2-0. Shots unofficially 4-3 in favor of the Houston Aeros. They look very good here in the early going. At center now, Dave Marcinishin tipped one into Aero territory, and that's blocked Robinson. Work one up for Scott Arneal. He'll push it into Milwaukee territory for Mark Freer across the line. Looks in front, can't find Townshend. Townshend had it worked away by Marcinishin. Then he's hauled down, and a penalty coming up to the Milwaukee Admirals. So the Aeros will get another power play, and we'll bring you the Aero power play when we return. 11:03 to go here in the first. 2-0 Houston. More after this. There's Mark Freer in the box, and I think Freer may have cost his team a power play because it was Marcinishin that was originally going to get the penalty, and the Aeros were going to get a power play, and now Mark Freer is in the box as well, so we'll go 4-on-4 hockey. Mike Maurice, Scott Arneal with Rob Robinson, Oleg Shagarodski. The Aeros lead it by a score of 2-0. Here's Oleg Shagarodski, left side, a drive deflected wide of the net, back behind the cage now. Maurice trying to fight for a loose puck with Brad Rowenka. Rowenka doing a fine job of tying him up, but nice reach by Maurice now to feather it to Scott Arneal. He centered it, but it's picked away by the Admirals, and it's center now. McNeil hands the puck over for Fabian Joseph, dumps the puck in. McNeil barreling in. Shagarodski takes him out of the play. Robinson pushed it near side. Matt Block pinching along the right side. Now it's run over to the far boards, and here is Mike Maurice for the Aeros. He'll gather the puck and roll it ahead. Oleg Shagarodski weaving through traffic. Oleg across the line, pulls up, shoots, scores! Oleg Shagarodski! And it's a 3-0 hockey game. Aeros lead it.
Adam, great work. We talked about the importance of getting that puck out of the end. Maurice fought for it along the boards, and Oleg Shagarodski, who continues to get better and better and better. And we know exactly why. The moment that Yana and Little Dimitri came over from Moscow, his play improved. Simple to put the puck on the stick of the kid who played for the Moscow Dynamo. And what a fine job of stick handling. And lets that wrist shot go right to the open side.
That's something we've been waiting for the last month. The way he's been carrying the puck to get a goal like that as Deneen moves a drive. And right now, the Aeros, I think, need to sense that Bob Mason not up to his standards, and they need to keep peppering him here a little bit. Now across the line, Cavallini dropped it back. Here's a drive by Herkus. Score! Tony Herkus. And now the Admirals on the board. It's 3-1. Is this a Milwaukee Bucks game or an Admirals game?
This is the Admirals team that had lost only 10 games coming in. And Herkus showed why he's got 57, now 58 points. That is 16 straight games that Tony Herkus has scored. And once again, we see the Aeros having a letdown. A nice drop pass, Cavallini. Back to Herkus, who just lets her rip.
Now back back to action here. The Admirals. Painter sends one over to McLeod. Sent it to center ice for Herkus, but back is Carl Valimont. Tony Herkus, former Hobie Baker Award winner, was an original second-round draft choice by the St. Louis Blues. I think it was 1984. Now Tippett, right side, getting set. Centered one for Valimont. Tipped away by Cavallini. That puck sliced up and out of play. The same people that brought you some of the best shows on television are now debuting their own network. Coming January 16th, it's the launch of the first network for the new century, UPN, the United Paramount Network. It's going to be right here on Paramount 20, coming January 16th. Looking forward to that.
4-4, lots of ice, and you give Tony Herkus, who's got perhaps the best vision of any player in the eye, that much space to work with. The kid is deadly with the puck, great offensive ability, and he shows exactly when. Isn't that the same disturbing trend we've seen? The Aeros score and then suffer a letdown. That's something that we've seen in the past. Hopefully that was just one of those things, and the Aeros don't falter.
Ken Sabourin in his own zone gave the puck away. Tippett's got it. Tell you what, the Aeros have come out. They're skating a lot better tonight, and Milwaukee looks very passive right now. They aren't skating very well at all, so the Aeros need to keep coming at them. Here's Valimont, a shot deflected just wide by Tippett. Tippett was all alone. He had nobody there to contain with him, and he just redirected it. Now Milwaukee's got the puck. Here's Goaltender. He'll move it up out of the zone. Goaltender ran into his own man, Ken Sabourin. And it's back at center ice. Sabourin back at his own blue line with 9 minutes, 11 seconds to play in the first. Aeros by 2 goals at 3-1. And block, a drive, a pillow stop by Gamble, and the Aeros come at center ice. Along the boards as the penalties over to Freer and Marcinishin. Now Gamble has to come out of the net. He will wait and chip it around Mike Tomlak, and Rob Robinson is there. Robinson, left side. Gives the puck to Brian Pellerin, shoots it in far corner. Mason deflects it away. Back is Marcinishin, chopped it along the boards. Yo dug it out, give it to Pellerin, base of the right circle. Pellerin centered it through the crease, but Clayton Young couldn't get lumber on it. And Brian Dobbin lobs to center ice. Tomlak for Goaltender, in a long way, shoot, scores! Chris Goaltender, 3-2 Houston. I don't know how many times, Barry Warner, we have seen in this first period, as well as the Aeros are skating, the defense has left a lot of wide open chances for the Admirals, and you can't do that.
Well, just when you expect the Aeros defense to get better as they improved last night, Tomlak makes a nice pass to Goaltender. No one is home. Jake's about 4 strides off and right through the 5-hole, and it hitting the back of the twine.
So the Aeros, who are in complete control of this hockey game, now in danger of losing complete control. Now they got to fight and scratch their way back here. They lead it 3-2. Puck is in Houston territory, and Troy Gamble's got to begin to wonder where's the help. Puck is at center now, and back to get it is Marcinishin. Marcinishin and in his own zone. He'll wait, get it up ice, and it'll go all the way back down into Aero territory. They'll say no icing as Valimont could have played it, so Carl has to hustle back to play. Valimont quickly spins the puck along the near side, knocked away by Joseph. Come to McNeil to the near side. Joseph in there. Now Warwanka back to the line for Mike McNeil. Get it back to the line. Here's Joseph trying to cut in, and he was blocked in there by Valimont. Now the puck in the near corner. They go skate to skate along the boards, grinding it out, and Mark Freer at it, but it came in front. Here's the shot blocked by Valimont, and it's out at center ice. Now the Admirals all of a sudden picking it up, realizing that they're back in this thing. Here is Brad Warwanka now. He'll move the puck to center ice. Warwanka into Aero territory. Warwanka trying to move around Valimont. Now line shoots. Gamble the save. And he'll cover up and hold on and then play it. Now it is Freer. Snapped one at center. It bounces back from McLeod. He'll drill it into Aero territory. Here is Graeme Townshend in his own zone. Chipped one along the boards. Can't clear. Townshend again. He'll lob it back. It will bounce into Milwaukee Admiral territory. And Ken Painter back for it now. Painter pass center ice for Tony Herkus. Herkus, nice pass. Cavallini shoots right on, and a blocker save made by Gamble. Grant trying to clear it. Now Kevin Deneen's got a break. Deneen right side, a man to beat. Painter shoots, and he ripped the bullet wide of the net. Now back at center. It comes for Cavallini. Trying to work it ahead. Herkus brought it in. That was offsides, delayed call. And the Aeros are back in their own zone. 6:55 to play here in the first. 3-2 hockey game. Aeros lead it. Murray Eaves now gives the puck to Tippett. Jammed it back down for Eaves. It'll go behind the Milwaukee net. And out of the net it was Mason. Handed it over to Painter. And it's out at center. Here is Kevin Grant. Oh, gave the puck away to Couturier. Across the line, a drop pass. Cavallini couldn't move it along. Now it is centered. It'll bounce back to the line. Not out. Held in by Herkus. Wrapped it back down low. Here is Couturier, shouldered by Robinson. It's lugged behind the net. And finally, Murray Eaves is there for Houston. Aeros will lob it out at center ice. After Houston controlled this hockey game for the first 10 minutes, it's been all Milwaukee since then. And the Aeros right now in a little bit of trouble. Here's a giveaway by Milwaukee. Jake's popped it back in, but now it is Chris Govaderas, right wing boards. He's got the second goal for the Admirals. Right in, Tomlak shoots, Gamble the save. And again, the Aeros defense is leaving guys wide open. 6:04 to go here in the first. 3-2 Houston. More from the Bradley Center after this. Well, the Aeros had a 3-0 lead in this hockey game, but a look at the scoreboard there, it is now 3-2 with 6:04 to play as the Admirals have struck back. And quite frankly, the Aero defense has really left some gaps here, and Troy Gamble is getting absolutely no help right now.
Oh, he's getting peppered completely, especially the last goal when Govaderas just walked in. It's a situation where Gamble has done, you know, maybe one of the goals, the Herkus goal, he possibly could have been faulted on, but the other two were no hopers at all. And this hockey team that saw the momentum with that 3-0 goal. I mean, we thought we'd have a rat on our hands. Mason, when he's bad, he's very, very bad. They allowed him to get back into the game by making the same lapses, not taking care of the puck.
Now, there's been a couple of discussions, and I think we've got some busted panes of glass, or some glass that has been dislodged from its mullions, those steel uprights. And right now, I think we're going to be in a holding pattern. 6:04 left here in the first. And Terry Ruskowski talking with Kevin Dineen and Dave Tippett on the bench. And Kevin Dineen has a goal in this hockey game.
He's played an absolutely superb game, and both he and Tippett just work in the corners. Murray Eaves on that line. Should we call that the Geritol line because they're the over 30 guys? I mean, that's old in hockey terms. I mean, Terry Ruskowski got cut by the Chicago Blackhawks because at age 25 they said, "You're too old to play for us anymore." Hard to believe when you look at sports like baseball and basketball. 3-2 the score here. Arneal, Dineen, Oleg, Shagarowski lighting it up. The Aeros were leading 3-0, now 3-2.
All right, we're going to take another timeout while they sort this out. 6:04 left in the first. It's 3-2 Houston. We'll have more IHL action after this. Well, right now, the Aeros might need a little defensive help, but right now the rink needs Bob Vila or somebody to fix a pane of glass as they're trying to get the little metal in there. And Bob Vila's got a little sander out there, and he says, "This is the way we got to do it." I don't know, whatever.
Adam, question. We talked about defense. People may have said, well, how come the Aeros haven't gone out since we talk about defense here on Paramount 20? You and Russ talk about it on the games on HSC. Well, it's not quite that simple. Defensemen are at a premium in the sport of hockey. My question to you, Adam, what happens if there is a strike, there is no hockey for the NHL? How could that benefit the Aeros? And if they go back to play?
That's a loaded question. That's a loaded question because, you know, and I'm mixed on that as far as what I think. You know, I mean, I think guys like Kevin Dineen and Alexei Yashin are great for the league and for the fans, yes, but I mean, can this league really afford to have an influx of NHL guys? And then when this thing is resolved for next year, I mean, what happens to all the guys that had to sit out? Where do they go? I feel for those guys. So we'll have to see as a shot right on by Gamble. And he's there to cover up.
But it's a two-edged sword, too, because teams like Denver, who will televise next week from McNichols Arena, if the strike ends, there are about 5 guys on Denver which will go up to the Islanders, 4 or 5 of their players.
I don't think it's going to end. They had a press conference today called, and we had to get on the air by the time that thing went, but I have a feeling from what I understand they were supposed to reject the players' proposal, the owners were. Here's Ken Sabrin, a drive, screen by in front of Gamble, and Troy able to see it. Here come the Aeros now, shoot the puck in. Yo barreling in, can't play it. Sabrin tipped it away. Now the near corner, Clayton Young trying to fight for it. Yo in there as well. Now there's Brian Pellerin, base of the left circle. Pellerin getting set, looks in front, quick shot blocked, and now Tomlak turns in his own zone for Milwaukee. He'll carry it out to center ice. Mike Tomlak. Here, bringing it across the line. It's knocked away by the Aeros. It came out in front, Gamble down and covering up. And right now, the difference of this hockey game and why it isn't 6-3 Milwaukee is because of that guy, Troy Gamble.
He's made some marvelous saves, and he has had no help in the back line. And O-N-E.
The battle is heating up, and the boys in the front need your help. Buy Houston Aeros War Bonds and see the games you want to see when you want to see them. War Bonds are ticket vouchers and booklets of 10 starting at just $50. You also receive ration stamps from Aero Force Allies worth more than $100. Support the troops in this all-out hockey war. Call 627-AERO and buy War Bonds today. That's 627-AERO. Face off to the right of Gamble. It's played by Dave Mackey now, trying to put it in behind the net. Robinson pins him along the boards. Now Marcinishin held. No, he didn't, as he was bumped by Townshend. Puck came to center ice. Here is Brad Rowanka, right side. He'll hoist it high in the air. It will go into Aero territory. Now Mackey turns left side. He takes a check from Kevin Grant. Graham Townshend in there as well. Look for Townshend, I think, to have a big game tonight. Maybe not in the scoring as much as maybe physical. I think that's really what Terry Wiskowski wants to see, is Townshend lets a shot go. He didn't get good wood on it. Now it's picked up by Milwaukee and skated from left to right at center ice. Here's Rowanka, tipped it into Aero territory. Valimont hustles back to get it. Valimont in behind the cage with 4:43 to play here in the first period. 3-2 hockey game. Houston leads it. Here is Townshend. He'll fire it back at center. Rowanka knocked it down, and now Rowanka brings it across the line. Walk right around Valimont. Shoots. Gamble save. That's twice now that the Milwaukee defense have gone right around Carl Valimont and gotten quality opportunities on Troy Gamble. Last time before that, Valimont drew a penalty.
Valimont, who lives in Milwaukee during the offseason, has about 25 friends here. They did not come to watch this, as Valimont simply got outsmarted and outskated. And once again, Troy Gamble, who played here when the Bradley Center Open, comes up big.
Face off in the circle to the left side of Troy Gamble. Mike Maurice with Dave Tippett and Kevin Dineen. Defensively, Grant and Shargaransky dropping the puck, and the Admirals have got it. Painter, right point, jammed the puck along the boards. Back is Carl Valimont along the boards. He'll work it ahead to Tippett, spanked it at center, but Maurice can't find the handle. Now Couturier for Milwaukee, pushed it into Aero territory. Shargaransky is back. He'll turn it along the boards for Kevin Dineen, spanked it to center, and here comes Maurice across the line. Tippett, he'll dump it in. Maurice after it left side. Painter is back, chipped it for Gino Cavallini, but he can't clear. Held in by Kevin Dineen, top of the slot, a wrist shot wide of the net. Not a particularly strong one. It was kind of off balance there, but the Aeros get it back. Here's a centering pass. Tippett, that went off Maurice, and now Tippett again at the hash marks, right side, getting set, trying to center. He's drilled by Ken Painter, and the Admirals trying to clear. There's Valimont to lock it down along the boards. Couturier in a battle, and he'll snap it out to center ice. 3:38 left here in the first. 3-2 Houston. Puck shot into Milwaukee territory. Admirals are back. Ken Painter at center, weaving through traffic down the left side, lost an edge, crashed and burned, and then finally he's going to cover up the puck. I don't know how that could almost be a 2-minute penalty, but they'll say no. With 3:25 left in the first. 3-2 hockey game, and the shots on goal now really dictating how Milwaukee has taken over. 13-6 after the Aeros had a 5-3 advantage. So in the last 10 minutes, Milwaukee has 10 shots.
And Adam, with that in mind, Terry Wiskowski changing things as he talks to his forwards. Tippett was out there with Kevin Dineen, which we've seen, but instead of Eaves, it was Mike Maurice. Now Chitteroni is playing on the left wing with the Clayton Young line.
Young, Pellerin, and Chitteroni with Shakes and Robinson. Puck at center ice. Clayton Young rolled it into Milwaukee territory. Out of the net, Bob Mason, and out is Ken Sabrin. He's checked by Clayton Young. Gave the puck away. Here's Chitteroni. Had a chance to redirect it into the open net. Couldn't quite do it. Now the Admirals turn. Tom Lack bangs one not out, though. Picked up by Sabrin, and he'll chip it at center. Here come the Admirals now. Govaderis. He weaves through traffic. Hits the line. Govaderis back for Dobbin. He'll shoot it into the far corner, and back is Rob Robinson. 2:56 left in the first. Chitteroni now as the Aeros lead at 3-2. Pellerin trying to bank one ahead. He's banked by Sabrin, though, and Pellerin had to bounce back to get it. Now it is Chitteroni trying to work it in. That's intercepted by Block. Now Tom Lack across the line, looks in front, wrapped up by Robinson. Puck came at center ice. 2:38 left in the first. Aeros by a goal. Puck is picked up by Ken Sabrin at his own blue line. Forecheck by Mark Firth. Tom Lack is there, and now the Aeros, as they change, almost get the puck away, but it's Rowanka for Milwaukee, and he'll shoot it for Govaderis to the right side. That is a offsides play with 2:25 left here in the first. 3-2 Houston.
13-6, the Aeros being outshot. 3 of the Aeros 6 shots lighting it up for that precarious 3-2 lead, which is nowhere safe in this building.
Well, we've seen that a 3-0 lead isn't safe against this Admiral Hockey Club.
This looks like the Admiral team that's played the last 10 minutes that leads the division.
Fabian Joseph with Mike Tomlak and Dave Mackey now. Admirals shoot the puck in, Gamble out the slow, and now Carl Valimont drifting back behind the net. Carl Valimont quickly sends one along the boards. Kevin Grant, a cross ice pass. What are you thinking there? Who got lucky is it's Freer now. Freer across the line trying to center it. That's picked away by Marcinishin and cleared back out at center. Now Valimont for the Aeros. Worked one ahead for Scott Arniel. Skating across the line with Mark Freer. Arniel wide shoots, just deflected wide. I think maybe Bob Mason got a piece of it. And the Admirals clear. At center ice, Mike McNeil rejected by Carl Valimont. Aeros are back. Arniel slammed one back at the Milwaukee blue line, and it's Marcinishin trying to find Mackey. Goes into Aero territory. They'll say no icing. And the Aeros go back now. Here comes Houston, right to left. Scott Arniel, late in this shift. He'll flip the puck ahead, and it's back at Milwaukee territory. 1:31 left. It goes into Houston Aero territory. Kevin Grant, quick pass for Kevin Dineen, trying to find Scott Arniel. It goes into Milwaukee territory, and Pat McLeod goes back. Worked it up ice. Here is Sylvain Couturier at center. Get it to Cavallini. Pulls up around Dave Tippett. Gino Cavallini centered one. Painter can't get the shot away. That's rolled away by Mike Maurice of the Houston Aeros. Now Shagarodsky for Houston. Can't clear. Painter pinching. He'll hold it in right side. Tippett trying to muscle it free. It came behind the Aero bench with 1 minute now remaining in this first period. 3-2 Houston. Here is Tippett at center. Get the pass to Kevin Dineen across the line. He shoots. Did not get good wood on it. And it's turned around by the Admirals. It's center now. Couturier with Cavallini across the line. Looks in front, trying to center it. It will go back behind Troy Gamble. And here's Oleg Shagarodsky. Oleg trying to move it to center ice. Having a little trouble. Compliments to Gino Cavallini. And Oleg shoots it into Milwaukee territory. Here's Ken Painter now. Painter fired one at center ice. And the Aeros have got it. Chitteroni pass into Milwaukee territory, cleared back at center. 23 seconds left in the first. Houston leads at 3-2. And now Couturier, pass for Tony Herkus. He's got one of the 2 goals. Herkus looks in front, jammed away by Chitteroni, trying to advance it. We're down to 13 seconds. Puck Kovadaris now, trying to work it through the skates of Clayton Young. They go at it along the near side. It goes back into Aero territory, or into Milwaukee territory. 3 seconds left. Puck along the near side, and finally it's worked along, and that will do it as the horn sounds, ending a wild and woolly first period. What a first period it was. The Aeros look to be in complete control with a 3-0 lead in this hockey game. But defensive mistakes. This was something we did not see last night against Kansas City. Something we had seen in the 4 previous to that. And the defensive mistakes killing the Aeros in this period. We'll see what happens when we get to second period action. But first, a timeout. 3-2 Houston. More after this. Welcome back to Bradley Center. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. It's a 3-2 hockey game here in favor of the Houston Aeros. The Aeros got off to a 3-0 lead, but again, defensive mistakes as the Admirals had come back. And the Admirals came back because of breakdowns defensively by the Houston Aeros. Troy Gamble standing on his head in that period and really was not giving a lot of help. Steve Jakes had a mistake in there that resulted in a goal. Tony Herkus had a nice goal that got the Milwaukee Admirals on the board. But the Aeros leading by a score of 3-2, and that's the important thing. They got off to the good start, and that's what the Aeros have been needing. They've been needing the offense. They've been needing the help. And, you know, when you talk about the defense, we hope to be talking with Kevin Grant shortly. As a matter of fact, Kevin Grant is with Barry Warner. Let's go down to Barry and Kevin right now. Barry?
Kevin, after a 3-0 lead, it looks like this is going to be the night. You end a 5-game jinx. The much maligned defense can play its game. What happens that you guys got to hold on for dear life?
Well, I mean, the thing you got to think about here is Milwaukee Admirals are, you know, arguably the most talented team in the league, and you can't take a shift off. You can't take anything off against them. And they score their goals in bunches, and that's what we have to be careful of from now on out.
What is it about this hockey team, though, that when we play badly defensively, I mean, there are just those periods where it's like a black hole and nothing seems to go right?
Well, a lot of teams go through that, you know, whether you can call it lack of concentration or, you know, what have you. I mean, there's just there's certain answers for everything, you know, and we try to put a finger on it as much as we can, but sometimes it just happens at lots of teams.
What does this mean to you tonight, to be back in Milwaukee, a team that had you and then let you go?
Well, of course, it's a big game for me. I mean, you always want to come back here and show them what they're missing. But you know, I think I'm professional enough that I can put that behind me, and I just want to work towards Houston Aeros' success in the future.
What happened up here that you were the odd man out?
Well, I came here the last 2 months of last season, and I played fairly well enough to earn another contract here this year. And you know, they changed their coaches, their philosophy changes, and consequently they brought in some new guys, and I was the odd man out.
Looked like Terry changed things up a little bit. Eaves came off, and we saw Maurice in. We saw Chitteroni move to a different wing. What is he trying to do there? Just try to find a right combination?
Well, yeah, you're looking for a little chemistry here now. I mean, we've had 3 goals in the last 3 games, and you know, including the shutout last night, and that's not very comforting, you know, when we go into the next game. But you know, Terry's mixing things up, and you know, we found a little bit of chemistry the first period, and we just got to keep it going now.
What do you got to do during periods 2 and 3 to straighten this situation out?
Well, basically, we got to know our positions defensively. I mean, we want to play our defensive game same as normal, but you know, once we take care of our own end, then the offense take care of itself.
We're going to let you go back inside and get some words of wisdom from Terry and from Peter Deneen, who's working the defense, and we'll go back upstairs to the play-by-play voice of the Houston Aeros, Adam Gordon.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Kevin Grant. Here in the first period intermission, it's the Houston Aeros 3, Milwaukee Admirals 2. We'll have highlights from that first period right after this. Welcome back to Bradley Center. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner, a 3-2 hockey game. The Aeros lead it. You know, you go back to the days of Jacques Plante and goaltending, the fact that he was the first guy when he was a goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens. He never wore a mask or a helmet of anything. And then as goaltending equipment developed, pads became more prevalent, you know, the helmet, the face guard, all that. And it seems like goaltenders, they've gotten better as time goes on, but the equipment has also gotten better, and that's why goals against averages are down and save percentages are up. And we've had a chance to chat with Rob Dopson. He shows us some of the goaltender equipment.
Rob, are you trying to make a fashion statement here, or is this just normal business attire for a goaltender?
Well, this is like what you wear when you do the games, Barry. It's all, the older you get, the more stuff you need, and you know, at this level, there's little things that you have to add, and you know, the skates are all different. There's all kinds of white plastic on the outside. It's, you know, the pucks come pretty quick, so you need protection on your feet. As far as the pads go, it's all personal. This stuff, mine are made a lot different than what Troy's are. It's just whatever you like, but one good thing about them today is they've got a lot lighter. And you know, when you first started playing, it was all leather and it got really wet and heavy, but this stuff's really good. Pants are the same basically as the players. A couple little extra pieces in here. This is where people get in awe. It's called what they call a May West, and it's all in one. But I'll tell you, sometimes it hurts the most up in here. But other than that, this is all required. A lot of players now are wearing throat guards, and I suggest it a lot for the younger kids. Clint Malarchuk, who plays for Las Vegas when he was with Buffalo, got his jugular vein cut with a skate. So that's pretty much why guys wear this for sticks and pucks. When you get into this stuff, this is where you get into the expense. I think these things run about $1,000. They mold them to your head, but it's getting pretty high tech now. And then the gloves, basically it's like a first baseman's glove. And then the blocker's like a waffle. Just more so to deflect pucks and protect the player.
Now, in spite of all of that, Dobber, you still get hurt, don't you?
Well, I think it's not as bad as it used to be. You know, with all this equipment, you tend to stay a lot more healthy, and I think Troy will say the same thing, is that the equipment's come such a long way that it's really not that bad out there.
Dobber, when you get hit in the face, what's it feel like? Even though the puck will deflect, you feel like it's a shot or what?
Well, it rings a little bit. Your ears tend to ring, but you know, with the way these are made, everything deflects off. It's really not that bad anymore.
How much does all this weigh, Dobber?
Oh, I think after a game you might add another 30 pounds on, just with sweat and equipment, but really it's not that heavy. It's only about 20 pounds.
The well-dressed goaltender, Rob Dopson. Just another day at the office.
Well, thank you, Barry. Thank you, Dobber. It's kind of nice look at the goaltending equipment. And tell you what, the goaltending equipment for both Bob Mason and Troy Campbell really came to work in that first period. Let's take a look at the scoring summary brought to you by Columbia Hospital. The Aeros made it 1-0. Scott Arniel getting his 19th of the year. 13 seconds into the contest, Dave Mackey turning it over into his own zone right to Freer. Arniel gets the assist, or gets the goal, Freer the assist, and it was 1-0 Houston. The Aeros make it 2-0. Kevin Dineen, a power play goal, 6th of the year at 3:34. Dave Tippett, Scott Arniel getting the assist. Aeros cruising. They're flying high, folks, at 3-0 when Oleg Shargorodsky. We've been waiting all year for this guy, carrying the puck up and down the ice. He'd been lugging it pretty well here the last month or so. He finally scored off a good hard wrist shot past Bob Mason. Shargorodsky is 5th at 9:35. Mike Maurice and Scott Arniel getting the assist. So Arniel a goal and 2 assists. But here come the Admirals. Tony Herkus with the shot. Got the Admirals on the board and made it 3-1 at that point in favor of the Houston Aeros. And then later Chris Govidaris made it 3-2, his 29th at 11:26. Mike Tomlak and Brian Dobbin getting the assist. And that is your Columbia HCA scoring summary. So 3-2 in favor of the Houston Aeros. We'll have more from the Bradley Center right after this. Adam Gordon, Barry Warner back inside Bradley Center. 3-2 hockey game in favor of the Houston Aeros. And let's take a quick look at tonight's highlights. They're brought to you by McDonald's. And as we said, the Aeros got on the board first on a nice giveaway by Dave Mackey.
You say quick. 13 seconds into the game, Arniel lights it up. It's his 13th goal on the road during the course of the year.
And then the Aeros would come back and they'd get a second goal, this time on the power play.
Dineen, thanks to Tippett and Arniel. Dineen waits for Ribnak to go down and just puts Mason go down and just put it right behind him for a 2-0 lead. And the Aeros looked like they were ready to rout.
Well, they were. And here's something we haven't seen. Shargorodsky, we've seen him carry the puck, but we haven't seen him finish.
Just stops and lets the wrist shot go and whammo right to the far side. But they come back quickly.
Tony Herkus, the one-timer. Like that, it's 3-1. And then again, watch the defense. Where is it? Up. Here comes Govidaris. He says thank you. Puts it in. 3-2 hockey game. And there you are. There are your McDonald's highlights. Now, Billy Blues stats in that first period. Brought to you by Billy Blues Barbecue. 3-2 Aeros. 13-6. The Admirals outshoot the Aeros. Both teams had 2 penalties for 4 minutes. Aeros 1 of 1 on the power play. The Admirals 0 for 1 on the power play. 3-2 in favor of the Houston Aeros. We'll have more action after this. Along with Barry Warner, Adam Gordon with you. 3-2 hockey game here. We'll be getting started. No, those guys on the ice are not the Admirals and the Aeros. A little pee-wee action going on. And Barry, is that you?
Adam, I wish my shot was that good.
Wow.
Wish I could pass like that.
Jeez, that guy turned it over though like you.
You're right. You've seen me play star too many times out of the aerodrome.
It's 3-2 in favor of the Houston Aeros. And I guess we got to kind of go back to what Kevin Grant was talking about, what the Aeros need to do. And again, it's not as much the mistakes as far as turnovers are concerned, but it is defensive mistakes that are hurting them.
Concentration, and in the discussion with the coaching staff downstairs, in all fairness to Steve Jakes, they wanted to review and they watched the replay as we ran through it between periods. They felt that there may have been a defensive lapse that a forward didn't pick up Govidaris, and that put Jakes in the untenable situation. But it's concentration, it's the mental lapses, and as you like to refer to it, brain cramp.
All right, well, they're just now leaving the ice, meaning the Aeros are going to return. And let's take a look at some scores around the IHL. Another full slate going on tonight in the International League. Cincinnati, whose game was canceled last night, they're playing in Cincinnati tonight. 4-3, they lead Phoenix in the second period. Also in the second, Fort Wayne and Detroit, they're tied at 3. Other scores: Indianapolis leading Minnesota by a score of 2-1 in the second. Peoria in the first over Chicago 1-0. Las Vegas and Kansas City at Kemper Arena, scoreless there at 9 o'clock Central Time. Denver will be in San Diego taking on the San Diego Gulls. So Troy Gamble, who faced 13 shots, stopped 11 of them. And I don't think you fault him at all on any of those. That Tony Herkus shot, a one-timer, and really, so right now Gamble in his last 2 games have given up 4 goals, and quite frankly, he can't fault him for anything.
No, not at all. I mean, last night he was outstanding in defeat. And quite frankly, the Aeros put enough shots on Larry Dick to have won the game. They didn't get it done. And Mike Yeo afterwards, by the way, and I should have, you know, in my interview with Kevin Grant, I should have asked him about that 3-on-1 breakaway that he had. In all fairness, Grant showed some moves that we didn't know that he had, but he's got a bad shoulder and couldn't really blast it. Then, and of course, the other situation where Yeo could have lit it up, he tried going on the ice, and 99 times out of 100 he would beat the goaltender. But Troy Gamble, who are working out right now, feels very comfortable in this building. He knows the boards, knows the glass, and I look for him to continue playing big.
And Bob Mason, who had a very rough first period. The thing that was disappointing for the Aeros side of things, they didn't get to test him after they kind of let up. They get the 3-0 lead, and then as soon as Milwaukee comes right back with the Tony Herkus goal, they never really put another shot on Bob Mason.
They got one shot after Oleg's goal out of their 6 shots on goal.
That's right. Freer, Arneal, Townshend with Kevin Grant, Rob Robinson defensively. We'll start this period 5-on-5 as the Admirals will line up with Tony Herkus, Gino Cavallini, Sylvain Couturier, Pat McLeod, and Ken Painter defensively. Drop of the puck, we're underway. Here in the second period, like that, the puck right up over the glass and out of play. Let's see if the Aeros, who like the 13-second mark in the first period, see if they maybe can't respond with one here.
And if we could get a wide shot downstairs, we'll see that the superstitious one, Terry Ruskowski, has changed things around. He is now standing on the far side near the blue line, and closer to center ice is Pete Denis. Well coiffured because he got a haircut today.
Face off at center. Here is Clayton Young. And it's picked up by the Milwaukee Admirals and shot into Houston Aero territory. Kevin Grant, he'll move one ahead. It'll go into Milwaukee territory, and Pat McLeod goes back. Probably should mention, Barry, the reason that's being done is they always switch. You want the defense closer to your own end. That's not anything to do with superstition. That's just a fact. If you look at it, the same thing happens with Milwaukee. Now, Kevin Grant shoots the puck in. Here's Pat McLeod now. They'll move it from right to left. It's up for Cavallini across the line. Cavallini trying to center one for Herkus, but he was tied up by Clayton Young. Now here's Cavallini with a backhander. That's rejected by Gamble. Sylvain Couturier trying to fight off of Mike Yochek. Couturier in a good battle with Yo. And Yo will outwork him for the puck and clear it at center. Back is Painter. Quick pass at center for Herkus. Almost was a 2-line pass. Play going right on. Clayton Young chipped one along, and that's up and out of play with a minute gone in the second. 3-2 Houston.
Adam, Young has got to be more physical. He had played physical in the 4 losses, the 4 losses at home, and last night was not as physical a game as we had seen him play at home. He needs to pick that up. Murray Eaves now out there with Tippett and Dean. Terry Ruskowski said, look for me to play a lot of different combinations. Well, he's back to the Eaves, centering the veteran line.
Valimont, Shagaronski defensively. I thought Murray Eaves played a pretty decent game last night. I think you got what you got last night out of Murray Eaves is what you're going to get out of him. I know they'd like to see a little more offensive production out of him, but not too bad for Murray. Here's a puck picked up by Ken Sabrin, left side. He's watched by Kevin Denis. Now it's picked up by Tom Lack, left side. Can't find the handle, and Valimont turns it around for Kevin Denis. Quick pass for Eaves, having a little trouble with it. He'll bat it into Milwaukee territory. Mason out of the net. I think the Aeros want to come out here in the first 5 minutes to get a couple of shots on Mason and reestablish some dominance. But right now, as the Aeros set up in their neutral zone trap, that's going to pay off as the Aeros go back. And this will be an icing call. You know, the Aeros who like to trap, especially on the road there, it wreaks a lot of havoc in what we like to call either the neutral zone trap or the passive forecheck, or they just try to lure you to go into their trap, and then it forces you to make a bad pass, either ice the puck or turn it over to the Aero defense, and that's exactly what happened there. The Admirals ice the puck. Face-off is now to the right of Bob Mason with a minute and a half gone in the second. 3-2 Houston.
And that's what you want, that face-off down and the other end. And Freer will try to draw the puck back to the point.
Now off the face-off, Robinson lugs it behind. There was Mason to reject that for the Admirals, and now Goaltender rolls it ahead. Tom Lack, a pass, goes into Aero territory. Gamble out of the cage to slow it. And here's Scott Arneal. Arneal, a pass, picked away. Goaltender, wide, shoots, deflected by Arneal. Now working on it, Goaltender. He centered the pass. Tom Lack for dominant drive, and a blocker save. Somewhat acrobatic from Gamble. He went down and had to reach up with the left blocker and make the stop, or actually the right hand, the blocker there. It was Jakes to Arneal, spanks it at center with 2 minutes gone in the second. 3-2 Houston. Now Sabrin for the Admirals, rolling up for Brian Dobbin. Cross ice pass for Fabian Joseph. Wine shoots right on Gamble to save, and now we've got Arneal and Matt Block discussing matters. Graeme Townshend, and there was Sabrin. Tell you what, Ken Sabrin has earned himself a reputation in this league. A lot of the players think he might be one of the more cheapest players in the league. I haven't seen it in the 2 games here so far against the Admirals, but I know a lot of the players think that he is one that has taken liberties, and right now he's in the middle of it.
Imposter is another word that's used. A guy who looks big, looks strong, looks tough, but does a lot of face washing, a lot of cheap stuff with the elbows. When you got to drop the gloves, is a little reluctant to mix it up.
Face off. As penalties coming up to both Graeme Townshend and Ken Sabourin. And the face-off will be at center ice. 17:44 to go in the second. And the only reason I bring that up on Sabourin, this is just what I hear around the league. I can't say that that's true or false because I've only seen him now for a game and a half, and he's been fine. But that's just what I hear from all the different coaches and a lot of the players tell me.
And Adam, one thing that you do have are great sources in this league from your 7 years of working hockey and working the bus ride tour and freezing. I mean, today had to be a heat wave for you. It was 14. In Medicine had it's probably 19 below.
That's a heat wave for me as well. Here is Kevin Grant now. He'll work the puck ahead. It's out at center ice. And now it is Marcinishin. A pass picked up by Brad Rowenka. He'll get it out to center ice. Draft pick of the Edmonton Oilers, Rowenka. Now it is Dave Mackey, who was drafted by the St. Louis Blues, is the co-captain for this club. Now as he brings it across the line, shoots, great save by Gamble. Dave Mackey came in and then gives a little extra spray to Gamble there as he went around. And Dave Mackey, who makes his home in Bellingham, Washington, kind of letting his presence be felt there as he kind of waltzes around the Aero defense here.
Yeah, nice acceleration as he comes around wide. Robinson tried to take him wide, didn't get him far enough. And once again, Troy Gamble comes up with a nice save.
Face off now to the right side of Troy Gamble. Clayton Young is out there with Mike Maurice. 1:38 left in the Quinnsville Miners to Graeme Townshend and Ken Sabourin. Fabian Joseph against Clayton Young. Joseph wins the route, picked up by Grant, shot it out at center ice, and Rowenka goes back to his own blue line. Into forecheck is Mike Maurice. He caught up to Rowenka, trying to get it away. Now the Admirals turn it around, and it's Dave Marcinishin. Marcinishin across the line. Here's Marcinishin trying to move it around Grant, and Kevin Grant knocks him down to the pond with a stiff forearm, and down he goes. And here come the Aeros at center. Robinson for Maurice across the line, and that play is whistled down on the offsides call with 3 minutes gone here in the second period. Houston leading by a score of 3-2. We'll have more IHL action from Milwaukee after this. Face off at center ice, and the Aeros leading by a score of 3-2.
Adam, I know you believe in ESPN, but dude, that's not Larry Robinson, it's Rob Robinson. I was always a great Montreal Canadien Le Habitat. Big fan of the Canadiens, so I call him Larry Robinson from time to time.
Nice French. Les habitants.
Les habitants.
All right.
Got enough trouble speaking English.
Here's the puck picked up by the Admirals, and it's taken away. Deneen, ready to go, shoots, and it's poked away by Mason. Deneen put the hard hat on and the jackhammer, and to work he went. Almost got a goal. Shagarodski, a shot blocked, and now the Admirals romp at center. McLeod across the line. Here's an open ice hit. Is there was Shagarodski. He drilled him like a Black & Decker, and it's picked up by McLeod. Right into centering pass, and there was Deneen to pop that away. Now the physical play picking up. Tell you what, John Bice, he got hammered by Shagarodski, the Russian sickle, if you will, and now it's tipping across the line. Centered one, couldn't find Valimont, and the Admirals are back. Now the hitting continuing as Chitteroni imprints Painter along the boards. Now that's about the only sign we'd have is maybe Painter on there. That's about all the advertising we'd have. Here is Painter now across the line. No pun intended for Painter. Here is Gamble now out of the net. Hands it to Robinson. Get it to Mario Chitteroni. Eaves can't find the handle. Puck sliced back down into Milwaukee territory. It's back, and we'll get a whistle on the icing call. 4.5 gone here in the second period. 3-2 Houston.
Enemy talked about the improved physical play. 2 shifts ago, it was not 1 but 2 checks by Clayton Young. Kevin Deneen working so hard. Oleg Shagarodski with a big hit on Bryce, and then Chitteroni. Terry Wiskowski liking what he's seeing.
Tomorrow night at 7, a restaurant owner witnesses a murder but keeps his lip zipped when the mob gets involved. Brian Dennehy stars in Perfect Witness Sunday night at 7 right here on Paramount 20. Face off to the right of Troy Gamble. Top of the puck. Aeros have got it. Here's Jakes. He'll play the puck for the Houston Aeros. Jakes drifting in behind the cage. Lugs it to the far boards. Jakes carrying some more. Now Jakes give it to Robinson. Tipped it out at center. And Cavallini booms one right back into Aero territory. Campbell stuttering a little bit there. And Jakes is back. Here is Steve Jenks. Pass for Freer. He can't find the handle. This will go down. No icing as Mason forced to play it. Now Marcinishin goes back. Dave Marcinishin spanked it along the boards. Couturier for Cavallini. Sends it back Couturier. Right to left he comes, but Arniel back checking on the play. And the Aeros go back. That's a lot of, I think, what Terry Wiskowski needs to see is his forwards back checking. Not just the defense back, but the forwards back. Now it's in Milwaukee territory. Mason came out, took a chance as Townshend was barreling in there. Now the puck along the near side. Arniel had it come back to the line now for Townshend. Gives it to Jakes. A shot block. It's in skates and feathered back out at center. Oh, Robinson makes a big play there because if he doesn't come up with it, Tony Herkus has a breakaway. And you don't want the leading scorer going in as we get an icing call on the Houston Aeros. 5.5 gone. Second period, 3-2 Houston.
Goals tonight by Arniel, Dineen, and Oleg Shagorodsky giving the Aeros a 3-zip lead. Tony Herkus and Chris Godavaris coming back and making it a 3-2 game.
Arniel with just a whole hub 1 goal 2 assist performance in that first period. And a face off in the circle to the right side of Troy Gamble. And Terry Wiskowski pacing the bench, and good look at Clayton Young against Mike Tomlak as they get down on the barrel of the stick, and Tomlak wins the draw. Block a drive. That just sliced wide of the net. Now Yo clears it, and Pellerin off to the races, trying to get it through Matt Block, and they go barreling in. Now Clayton Young couldn't accept the pass, and out of the net, Bob Mason. Mason for the Milwaukee Admirals, sending it along. Pellerin in a battle there. Now behind the net, Dobbin and Clayton Young are skate to skate. In there's Yo. He tries to fish it out. They continue to grind it out, and finally Tomlak's got it. Mike Tomlak with 6 minutes gone in the second. Houston up 3-2. Nice drop pass. Goaltender right in on goal with a weak shot, and Gamble down to make the save. And Brian Pellerin just a wee bit slow to get up, but I'm sure he'll be all right. But it almost seems like now anytime an arrow goes down, you just kind of hold your breath, and you hold it even longer if he's a defenseman.
And Govadaris has got such a big shot. Fortunately, he didn't have an opportunity to let it off and rip. Tomlak does a nice job of stick handling, and just with the drop pass the backhander, one arrow goes down, and Grant took Govadaris wide, which prevented him from getting the shot off.
Face off in the circle to the left side of Troy Gamble. Here's Oleg Shagorodsky now. Pass, or trying to play the puck along the near side. His pass came to center for Dave Tippett. Across the line, Dineen. Kevin Dineen, center, and Eaves goes barreling in, trying to draw the penalty. He was appended, but no call. Play going on. Here's the puck down, picked up by McLeod out at center ice. McNeil jammed along by Kevin Dineen. Dineen in there with a good battle from Mike McNeil. The puck escorted, and finally Dave Mackey is back. Mackey, he'll hoist it into Aero territory. Robinson in after it, but Gamble says, I'll get there first, and he'll roll it right to Dave Mackey. Mackey in a battle. Eaves got there to take it away, and now Kevin Dineen will scamper to center ice. Dineen hands it over to Shagorodsky, who's got a goal in this game. Drifting down the right side, centered one right in, and it was overskated by both Eaves and Tippett, and now we're going to get a penalty on the Houston Aeros. McLeod across the line, shoots! Oh, that clipped Gamble right in the melon. Right upstairs in the old bean as he tried to waste one, and everybody getting locked up. Gamble a little dazed and confused, and he looks and says, what's going on? That's clearly a case of wasting one, as they felt that they couldn't. McLeod felt he couldn't get the good shot away, and he went upstairs, and we'll take time out. A penalty coming up to the Aeros, and we'll bring you a Milwaukee power play when we return. 13:04 to go in the second. Houston 3-2. A lot of times when you feel you don't have a good shot on goal, you say, let's just waste one on the goalie. And McLeod did that. And Troy Gamble, he was asked, what day is it? And he said, well, it's Wednesday, isn't it? Good, you're back in, you're fine.
And what city are we in?
He said Kansas City. Face off to the right of Troy Gamble. That's got a smart. It's kind of ironic that happened after you asked that question to Rob Dopson in the interview about goaltending equipment. I think he hears the bells chiming and he wants to know, am I in church? No, you're in a hockey game, baby. Here come the Aero, or the Admirals rather, but a great hockey game. Painter shoots the puck in hard off the glass. That'll sizzle along the dashers. Finally bounce down. Freer trying to mop it up, but it's picked up by Herkus. Get it back to the line, McLeod. Remember, Milwaukee on the power play. Painter a drive. That's blocked. It came back behind the cage. Couturier looks, waits, wheels it over to the right side. Herkus to McLeod, top of the slot, right back. Herkus to the right circle, jammed it down. Here's the shot upstairs. That was blocked. I think Grant may have gotten a skate on that. Cavallini centered. The drive, Couturier. He fanned on it, and Arneal will pick it up and shoot it down the ice. 12:15 left here in the second. 3-2 Houston, minute 10 remaining in the Dineen minor. Here is Herkus across the line. Got it back as he fed it to Cavallini. Quick shot by McLeod. He went upstairs again. This guy must live in the penthouse. He's been upstairs and nobody's been home except the head of Troy Gamble. Puck goes back down as it's shot down by the Aeros. 52 seconds remaining in the penalty to Kevin Dineen. Admirals still on the power play. It's center ice, Dobbin. Right side, Tomlak pulls up. He's belted at the point by Shagarovsky. Now, here is Shagarovsky again, trying to muscle along. He's worked on by Rowenka, and Goaltender comes away at the hash marks. Right side, Chris Goaltender spins it down. Rowenka getting set. Rowenka jammed it down behind the net for Brian Dobbin. Waiting. Center one in front. They bail at it, and Gamble shuffles the pad with a marvelous save, and the Aeros will romp the center. It is Clayton Young for Houston. He'll shoot it down with 18 seconds left on the power play. Goaltender winding it up through the neutral zone, through Pellerin, across the line. Goaltender trying to center it, that's intercepted, and now a penalty coming up to Chris Goaltender as he got Chitteroni upended. Goaltender will complain and whine a little bit, but all he'll get will get a little bit of cheese with his wine, and he'll sit in the penalty box and enjoy that. And the Aeros are going to get a power play in 7 seconds. The Aeros, who lead at 3-2, will go 4-on-4 for 4 seconds, and you can see Goaltender says, yep, we'll get it in there. He'll try and plead his case, but I don't think Perry Mason will get him out of this one with 11:10 to go in the second. 3-2 Houston.
And Mario Chitteroni had a tremendous amount of ice in there with his acceleration and speed. He could have sliced in there for a nice open shot on goal. During the killing that power play, the defense, which we had kind of ridiculed, 2 blocks by Grant, 1 by Valimont. McLeod goes high, Gamble with an outstanding save, and there the Chitteroni situation where he intercepts the pass.
Face off center ice. Aeros are now going to be on the power play in 5 more seconds. So Valimont will drift back and wait so they can get their power play started. Here's Dave Tippett to lug it behind the net. The Aeros on the power play for a minute 53 as Dineen out on the pond. Here comes Dave Tippett. He'll blast it into Milwaukee territory. Out of the net, Mason can't corral it. Along the boards, Joseph turns, booms one out. Well, held in. Now a deflected right on the shot. And Mason will shuffle the pad and come out with a nice save. Tippett couldn't hold the puck in, and it goes right back down the ice. So Gamble will wait to see where McNeil is going to go. Gamble, kind of like a defenseman, and he'll start the rush. Now it is Tippett in his own zone with 10.5 to go in the second period. Aeros lead at 3-2, and they got a minute 20 on the power play. Across the line, Arneal. A goal and 2 assists thus far in the game. Arneal rolled it down for Clayton Young. Here is Kevin Dineen. First one to it. Back Young. Right side. Tipped it back to the line, but there was Fabian Joseph. He cleared it, and it's out at center ice for McNeil. Mike McNeil shoots it gently into Aero territory, and the Aeros go back. 10 minutes. 10 seconds. Second period. 3-2 Houston. 58 on the power play. Aeros stagnant now, having a little trouble breaking it out. Here's John Bice across the line. Dropped it for block. He'll shoot. Glove save by Gamble. Will close the pad and hold on to it. Aeros next game at home will be against the Minnesota Moose this Thursday night, the 12th. Game time is at 7 o'clock. You can get your tickets by contacting any Ticketmaster outlet, the Summit box office, or the Aerodrome. Or if you have any questions regarding tickets, 627-8ERO. The Minnesota Moose. Should be a great hockey game. The Aeros' next action at the Summit.
In this particular situation, normally Graham Townsend plays with the first unit on the power play. Now he's out with the second unit. He will try to camp out down low. The Aeros will try to have 3 men crash to the crease.
Now Shagarovsky shakes off a Brian Dobbin check across the line. Oleg shoots right on, and Mason the save. So all of a sudden now, the Aeros have kind of picked up the tempo a little bit here and are threatening a little bit, but Bob Mason is in a couple of nice stops with 9:44 to go in the second. A 3-2 hockey game.
You got to continue to pepper Mason with the shots. You saw how shaky he was when the Aeros jumped off to the 3-0 lead, and they let him get back into the game with the defensive lapses and took only 1 shot after they established the 3-0 lead. Now shots on goal, Adam. Check this. 20-8. The Aeros have been outshot.
Actually, they're late to change that. It should be 20-9 on that last shot, but that means the Aeros have just 3 shots on goal in this period. Here's Oleg Shagarovsky now, top of the slot, still on the power play. A shot deflected just wide. I think Eaves got a hand on that one. And the puck is back at center. Here's Kevin Graeme to the left side. Robinson shoots it into Milwaukee territory. Admirals back. Rowanka quickly plays it. That is icing. And the faceoff will be brought back into Aero territory. 17 seconds left in the Goaltender minor. And a 3-2 hockey game.
17 seconds, still time to light it up. They've got to win the faceoff here and to start a rush and get up ice as quickly as possible and pepper some shots on Bob Mason. Murray Eaves, who gets down so low on the faceoff, try to win this draw and let the Aeros establish something with 17 seconds to go.
Face-off now between Eaves and Fabian Joseph. And Eaves will win it. Here's Robinson behind the net. Shagarodsky. 13 seconds left on the power play. Enough for one rush. And here's the man. Shagarodsky across the line. Barrels are ready to go. The shot. Oh, that was swept out of there. And Oleg, a fine rush. Now the puck into the corner. McNeil and Townshend battle for it. They grapple along the boards. There's Maurice though to spin it back behind the cage. And here's Dave Marcinich. Teams are at 5-a-side now as the penalty has expired to Goaltender. Puck is at center. Chitteroni trying to bat it down. 8:55 to go in the second. Aeros by a goal. Puck in Aero territory. Gamble out of the net. Give it to Jakes in the near corner. And here comes Steve Jakes. Right wing board pass. Picked up by Graeme Townshend. Townshend to Chitteroni. Fired it ahead. Blocked by McLeod and wrapped up the center ice for Chris Goaltender. Now Goaltender galloping it across the line. Here is Mike Tomlak. Send it back. Quick shot. Donovan. And a great glove save by Gamble. He'll close it and hold on with 8:35 left here in the second. We'll take time out. 3-2 Houston. We'll have more right after this. Adam Gordon, Barry Warner here in Milwaukee. 3-2 Houston with 8:35 left in the second.
Save number 21 comes up for Troy Gamble. Thanks to some excellent passing. Goaltender just drops it. They go cross ice and Gamble with a glove save for save number 21.
Face off to the left of Troy Gamble. And it's picked up by the Aeros off the draw. Jakes up the left side. And now the Aeros will come to center ice. 3-on-2, but quickly 3-on-3 as Tomlak joins it. Here's Chitteroni. Quick snap pass glove by Mason. He'll hold on with 8:23 left in the second. And a 3-2 hockey game.
Mike Yeo, Chitteroni, as Valimont starts getting into it a little bit. And the linesman come by and tries to separate him from Dobbin.
Carl Valimont, if I'm not mistaken, will join you in the second period intermission.
No. Murray Eaves.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, that's fine. We'll talk to Murray Eaves. Are you going to take it easy on him?
The guy's trying to take my job. You know that.
No, I don't know anything.
Come on. You know, the man is out for my job, and well, I'd be out for his, but I have no talent.
A little hard on yourself, Barry. Don't sell yourself short. You're quite a slouch. Jeez, Bear. Puck is in Milwaukee territory. You're going to carve yourself. Jeez, let me know. I'll bring utensils. Puck back in Aero territory. We're having fun in Milwaukee. It's icing the call now. Goaltender getting into it. Pellerin wants a piece of Goaltender. Now Tomlak pulls out his American Express card, says, "Do you know me?" And Pellerin says, "Yeah, I do." And they'll get in there and separate him. 8:07 left in the second. 3-2 Houston.
Adam, I can carve myself up because you know that out of all the things that I've wanted to do in my George Plimpton-esque type career, playing hockey and scoring a winning goal in a championship hockey game would be my fantasy in athletics.
Well,
and I got to tell you something.
Well, go buy a Nintendo then.
I can't play those suckers, but it is the toughest thing to do, and these pros make it look so easy. It is such a difficult sport to master, and I marvel at the way the passing, the skating, the pivoting, and the stick handling that these pros do.
It is amazing. I mean, and to make it even more amazing, they do it when they start at age 2 or 3. Here is Shagarodsky. Quick shot, stick save rejected by Bob Mason, and off to center comes Gino Cavallini from Milwaukee. Across the line, shoots, big bullet, wide of the net. Now it is Kevin Graeme. And here's Oleg Shagarodsky. Shagarodsky carrying the puck. I'll tell you what, Oleg offensively has been outstanding tonight.
Best game he's played.
Now Oleg at center. A pass intercepted by Gino Cavallini. That's blocked by Shagarodsky. And now Dave Tippett back at center ice. Just the Aeros passing is just that much better tonight than it's been in the last 5 games. They look like they're skating a lot better. As Tippett, quick shot. And Ken Sabbert in there to deflect that up and out of play. 7:25 left in the second. And the Aeros leading this hockey game 3-2 is Bob Mason. taking that Dave Tippett shot as Tippett comes to the bench. And the Aeros will get a face-off in Milwaukee territory.
It was interesting. Clayton Young centered that line. That's the third different center that we've had on the veteran line.
That's an interesting analogy, but I think Ruskowski warned you that you'd probably see a lot of different combinations, trying to find someone to shake it up with. Now you've got Freer, Arneal, and Townsend with Jakes and Robinson. And a face-off at the top of the near circle, which is to the left side of Bob Mason. There's Fabian Joseph.
You know what Joseph does during his pregame workout? You know the little game of nappy sack the kids play?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he takes a handball or a racquetball and starts bouncing the ball off the wall with his hands and then his feet off of the wall, trying to control it to get limber.
Oh, that's interesting. Puck back at center ice. Barry, you do your homework. Here is Robinson now. Off the glass, out at center ice for Brad Rowenka at his own blue line. Now Dave Mackey lets it go into Aero territory. Back is Robinson. This is icing. And the face-off will be back into Milwaukee territory. 7:07 remaining in the second. 3-2 Houston.
Adam, when I went down to the Milwaukee Admiral locker room, I swear I thought I was at the Houstonian, because they have every single piece of workout equipment that you could imagine. I mean, rows of different type of Scaremasters, different type of fitness equipment. They built this building specifically. This is the home of the big dog, Mike Dunleavy's Milwaukee Buck basketball team, but they have got a tremendous facility here where they practice. Instead of having an aerodrome, they do it all out of the building here.
Face off to the left of Bob Mason. Top of the puck, and the Admirals have got it. Mike McNeil at center ice. Roll it ahead for Dave Mackey. Trying to muscle his way through Robinson. Can't do it. Now Jake's tackled. That'll be first down as the puck along the boards. And finally play whistle down as we've got Townsend in there a little bit. And some more clutching and grabbing. It's been a relatively tame game. A little odd tussle here and there. And for a game that hasn't been really overly physical, but it has had its moments.
Graeme Townsend working hard. As we take a good look at the banners of the Milwaukee Bucks, you see Jabbar's jersey and his number being retired all by his lonesome. Of course, Jabbar drafted by one Ray Patterson. And we've got one championship banner hanging, World Championship banner. That, of course, of the World Championship Rockets, the team put together and forged by Aero General Manager Steve Patterson.
Here's Graeme Townsend. Pass across ice. Intercepted Rowenka. He takes a sandwich bump from Freer and Arneal. And now the Aeros will shoot it right back down. And here's another icing call coming up on the Houston Aeros as Rowenka goes back. Play whistle down. 6:39 left in the second period. The Aeros leading 3-2, and kind of ironic that after the first period you saw 5 goals between the teams, and I thought for a minute there was a basketball game here. I thought it was still Marquette playing from earlier this afternoon. And now the defense is playing a little bit better, and you know, you look at it, the Aeros with just 4 shots on goal in this period to 7 for Milwaukee, and it's 3-2 Houston.
And 3 of those shots came off the stick of Oleg Chagorowski, who has been outstanding tonight.
Face off to the left of Troy Gamble. Dobbin, Tomlak, and Govaderas with McLeod and Painter. Top of the puck, and the Aeros have got it. Robinson drifting behind the net. Robinson pass out for Arneal. Can't find the handle. Painter is back to shoot it into Aero territory. Gamble knocked it down. Here is Steve Jakes. Jakes for Robinson. Get it to Graeme Townsend. Now left side. Townsend crossed it up. Give it to Freer. Mark Freer barreling in. Gives Arneal right in on goal, but he had the puck skip over his stick. Arneal trying to feather one for Townsend. He and McLeod go at it. Here's a centering pass, but Jakes couldn't get the shot away. Here's Mark Freer at a right point for Houston. Rolled it back behind the net. Townsend's got it. Graeme Townsend escorts it along the boards, but Govaderas is there. Can he clear it? Yes, he will. Back at center ice. Steve Jakes booms one into Milwaukee territory with under 6 minutes to go here in the second period. 3-2 hockey game. Now at center. Govaderas trying to work it away from Carl Valimont. Tomlak's got it across the line. Valimont stands him up nicely, and Pellerin back. Snaps one out at center, and the Admirals boom it right back in. Matt Hervey block into Aero territory. Pellerin is there, and now the Aeros turn it around. Mike Maurice galloping center ice. He's got Murray Eaves breaking as he shoots it in. It'll go just wide of the net. Mason came out. Ooh, Murray Eaves almost chopped that away. Tony Herkus now regroups. He will shoot one high in the air, and it will go back into Aero territory for Carl Valimont. Quickly turn it back at center. Here's Brian Pellerin now across the line. Pellerin moving along the boards, looking for Maurice, but Sabrin is there. Now Pellerin takes a poke at Sabrin, and Pellerin's going to get 2 minutes. Pellerin wanting a Ken Sabrin, and He's going to go off for 2 minutes here, and the Aeros are going to be shorthanded with 5:12 to go in the second period. And a 3-2 Houston lead, and we'll bring you the Milwaukee power play when we return. More after this.
Welcome to Las Vegas, where one man sees it all, the Watcher.
Premieres January 17th on Paramount 20.
Once a year and only once a year, the Men's Warehouse has a sale. Save an extra 20 to 40% on a great selection of suits and sport coats. It takes a Men's Warehouse sale to beat a Men's Warehouse price. I guarantee it.
The key to picking a cellular company is the size of its coverage area. GTE MobileNet covers you from Austin to Beaumont, Galveston to Nacogdoches, all without long distance. Now let's look at your other choice. Oh dear. It seems I've made a mess of their coverage area, but you can imagine, well, it was smaller.
Sign up with GTE MobileNet by January 10th and get free activation and 1 hour of free airtime.
GTE MobileNet. More than cellular phones, cellular service.
You're watching Paramount 20, KTXH, Houston.
Face-off, won by the Aeros. Kevin Grant shoots it in. Adam Gordon, along with Barry Warner. Hope you're enjoying a great hockey game. This one has been a dandy. 3-2 Houston. Puck for Milwaukee, Tony Herkus. Right side, moving up the boards. Now up the gut he comes. Had to regroup, couldn't bring it across the line. Kevin Dineen into forecheck. Here is Sylvain Couturier across the ice. Herkus right in on goal. Herkus had his stick lifted by Cavallini, shooting short side. And Gamble may have gotten a piece of that one. Now Couturier back to the line. McLeod jammed it along the boards. Couturier in the circle. As the Admirals on the power play. Puck shot hit the post as Gamble knocked it down. Puck comes to the near side. Painter face of the left circle. Worked it back. Tony Herkus. Again, Admirals have a minute 16 on the power play, but the puck taken away by Dineen, and he'll shoot it down the ice. So the Admirals go back. Ooh, that was close as the Admirals worked it down by a goal at 3-2. Herkus, gave the puck away. Herkus got it back though at center. Tony Herkus across the line. Yeah, good job by Clayton Young to stand him up. Now Herkus to Brian Domin. Back Herkus, lobbed it back down Domin. Behind the net, rolling for Chris Govaderis. Base of the right circle, Aero territory. Govaderis now getting set. Jammed it down for Herkus behind the Aero twine. Here's a centering pass. It came back to the line for Matt Block. For Roy, at top of the slot. Looks for the shot. Block again at the blue line. Jammed it for Govaderis. And the Admirals patiently cycling along the boards. Here's the drive. Blocked by Grant. Aeros have got it. And Chinneroni will skate it out. Mario Chinneroni across the line. Chinneroni trying to move it on goal, but it's swept away by Mason. And the Admirals turn it around. Here comes Milwaukee. Rowanka had to go off the skates of Freer, and Mason out of the net. Slowing with 3:23 to go in the second. 3-2 Houston, 10 seconds to go in the power play. Chris Govaderis to the left side. Tomlak got by Freer. Can he get by Valimont? No. Penalty now over. Teams at 5 aside. Rowanka the drive. Blocked. Puck in front. Here is Tomlak. He's hooked on the play. And the Aeros, had a 2-on-1, but couldn't bring it ahead. Freer lost the handle. Now back at center ice. Here's Scott Arneal for the Houston Aeros. Worked it ahead for Mark Freer. Acting team captain is Curtis Hunt. Still with a bad back. And if you're watching at home, Curtis, really hope you're feeling a lot better. And take it easy. We miss you. Love to have you back out on the ice as soon as possible. Puck at center ice now. Here is Scott Arneal across the line. No, he's just going to drift and now have to head back. 2:38 left in the second. 3-2 Houston. And the Aeros regrouping. Here comes Shargarodsky. Pass. Right onto the tape of Townsend. Pulls up. Turns. Can't get the shot away. He was wrapped up by Ken Painter. Ruskowski wanting a penalty. Not going to get it. Just screaming at the referee, Joe Ernst. Won't get the penalty. Now, here is Arneal. He can't find the handle. And the Admirals back. They'll shoot it into Aero territory. And here is Kevin Grant, the former Milwaukee Admiral. Blasted it out at center ice. Fabian Joseph regroups at center. Jammed it into Aero territory. Mackey in there to hustle for it. Shargarodsky's got to hurry. And Shargarodsky, I got to tell you what, he's going to draw a penalty here. But Shargarodsky has got to be the first one in that corner. He had everyone beaten in there, and when the puck is in the corner, you've got to be the first one there. You watch it. If we got a replay of it, watch how Shargarodsky slows up. Sure, he's going to draw the penalty here, but I think Terry Ruskowski would like to see Oleg go a little stronger into the corner and play that puck. I don't know if And we do have the replay here. Watch Oleg pull up when he goes in. The puck is there. Now look, he stops skating and he stops right there. He should have gone in.
And with his speed, excuse me, Adam, he should be able to get there. He's such an effortless skater with that long stride. We said how important it was to win the battle of the corners, and Oleg, who's done a great job offensively, your first responsibility on D.
And the thing is, Terry Ruskowski, and any coach will tell you this, to win hockey games, it's not free. You have to pay a price. That means if you've got to be the first in a corner to get a puck, get it, play it, get it out of there. Yeah, okay, so what if you get drilled? But that's part of paying the price. But in this case, as much as you can get on Shagarodsky about that, it's hard to follow him. He draws a penalty here, and the Aeros are going to get a power play.
And I want to be poetic justice if Oleg Shagarodsky lights it up. The Aeros, once again, they'll try to tip it down in the slot and try to get a lot of shots on Bob Mason.
Sure, it would have jammed the puck right down my throat. Make me take back everything I just said about him. He has played well, though. Here is Dave Tippett. Cross-ice pass for Kevin Dineen. Dineen will turn at center ice and roll it over for Oleg Shagarodsky across the line. Oleg pulls up now. Oleg to the line for Clayton Young. Back Shagarodsky. Looks down for Chitteroni. Here's Clayton Young. Back to the line. Here's Shagarodsky shooting right on base and rebound. They score! Mario Chitteroni off the rebound. Power play goal. Aeros lead it by a score of 4-2.
We talked about the importance on peppering Bob Mason with shots. No, it was not tip it down in the slot, but we said the Aeros were going to try to get quicker shots off. That was one of our keys in the Ashman game plan. And Clayton Young, he was out there with the first unit, does a nice job. The blast in there, the rebound, Chitter, the man of the hour, just pokes it by to the short side of the outstretched Bob Mason for a 4-2 Aeros lead.
So Shagarodsky, he kind of jams it down my throat. Doesn't get the goal, but he'll get the assist.
He was out there and he helped.
He must have heard what I said. Oleg, I take everything back I said about you. Nice play. Aeros lead at 4-2. Big power play goal, and the Aeros with a 2-goal lead with a minute and a half to play in the second period. What a huge goal that is going into the break. Here's a pass at center ice. Scott Arneal chipped it into Milwaukee territory. Now Townsend turns. Townsend trying to work it along. They go at it in the corner. Townsend fell. Cavallini's in there. It's blasted along the boards. Picked up by Arneal. Scott Arneal winding through traffic. Gets it to Kevin Grant. His shot is blocked by Herkus. And here come the Milwaukee Admirals trailing by a deuce. It is Cavallini shooting it into Aero territory. It's knocked back by Kevin Grant and out to center ice for Arneal. Scott Arneal. He'll shoot it into Milwaukee territory. Back is Marcinician. Jammed it along for Herkus. And out is Sylvain Couturier for Cavallini. Gino Cavallini cross-ice pass. Picked away by Shagarodsky. And here comes Oleg for Mark Freer. Across the line. He'll pull up with 42 left in the period. Worked it into the corner. After it is Brad Werwenka. He's knocked away by Scott Arneal. They fight for the loose puck. And now it is Tony Herkus. Chipped it to the line and out to center ice for Cavallini. 30 seconds to go. Cavallini, high shot. It'll be picked up by Oleg Shagarodsky. Oleg, having a little trouble with it, but he got it back for Tippett now. Dave Tippett jams it into Milwaukee territory. 18 seconds left in the period. 4-2 Houston. Puck in Milwaukee territory. Goaltender cleared it to center ice for Mike Tomlak. Barreling up ice. Tomlak across the line with Donovan. Brian Donovan had to go off the skates in the air with one rush. 8 seconds left. Here is Clayton Young. In on goal. Young waits now. Shoots. Missed the net. And that'll do it for the period as the horn will sound. And the Houston Aeros get a huge goal with only a minute and a half remaining in the period. And now Young and Kent Paintner discussing where they want to have their post-game dinner. And Young wants to go across the street. Painter wants to go across town. They just can't get along. Geez, can't we all be friends? 4-2 Houston. And we'll have more from the Milwaukee's Bradley Center after this. Welcome back to Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Adam Gord along with Barry Warner. 4-2 hockey game here in the second period intermission. No goals scored for the first 18 and a half minutes, and finally the Aeros get that power play goal, and they've got a 2-goal lead. One guy that has been in and out of the lineup quite a bit, mostly out as of late, has been Murray Eaves, but you know, it seems like he adds quite a bit, not only on the ice, but mostly off the ice as a leader, and he's standing by with Barry Warner. Barry?
Well, Adam, I've been saving this for the entire telecast. The secret weapon for the Houston Aeros sitting right next to me. The man who was definitely the versatile role player for the Aeros. Muzz Eaves, underneath that little frizzy perm, is the real comic leader in the clubhouse. Now, today, when we got off the elevator to go down for the pregame meal, I asked you if you were wearing your wife's sweater. Why, Muzz?
Well, I had a long sleeve polo shirt on, and I had it on backwards with the buttons in the back, just trying to turn our luck around, keep the guys loose. It's one of my jobs. Also, I don't know who it was, but somebody in there also got shoe checked with a little chocolate icing on their shoes. But I come into the dressing room, I try and keep the guys loose. Whatever I can add to this team, I'm going to do it. And you know, tonight we're leading 4-2 going into the third, and we're in a great position.
Now, we talked about you being a role player. You play center. You've tried to take my job up with Adam Gordon, auditioning as a color analyst, and you've also sat behind the dasher. How difficult has that been for a man who has been used to starring ever since you left the University of Michigan?
Well, it's obviously it's an adjustment when you're used to playing, you know, over in Europe, playing 35 to 40 minutes during the game, and coming over here. But I was kind of aware starting in training camp that my role would be killing penalties, maybe an odd shift on the power play, in and out of the lineup, and that's what's happened to me this year, Barry. And like I said, what I'm bringing to the team this year is a positive attitude, even though we're in the midst of a 5-game losing streak. But like I said, we're looking good right now, and whatever I can bring to this team, I'm going to bring it. No matter if I'm behind the bench coaching, taking your job, playing the drums, I'm going to do it.
Now, who is the bigger clown in the locker room? I mean, you got competition from Dobber. You try to go one-up on him all the time, or what?
Never, never. The goalies always stick together, and in this case, it's no different. When I'm going against Rob Dopson, I'm going against Troy Gamble too, so I don't even compete with those two guys. I just try and throw in my jabs here and there, and hopefully keep the guys loose.
Muzz, you're on the line with Tippett and with Kevin Dineen. We're going to call that the Geritol line, because let's face it, when you're 30 in hockey, you're considered old.
Yeah, we definitely took our Geritol pills before the game tonight, and it looks like it's working. I mean, Kevin Dineen, what can you say about him? He works every night. Dave Tippett also, he's coaching, he's, you know, he's doing things off the ice, he's doing things on the ice, he's 100% all the way, and we could have no better leader than Mr. Tippett.
Well, I envy you. You want my job, but I want yours. I'd love to be a hockey player.
Well,
you know that.
Well, keep your head up in practice, Barry.
Well, the Aeros have got their heads up, and they got their version of a rally cap. Muzz Eaves with a sweater on backwards. It must have worked a charm, because the Aeros lead now 4-2. Let's go back upstairs to the voice, Adam Gordon.
Thank you, Bear. Thank you, Murray. Murray's saying he took his Geritol tablets. I'm wondering if he had his submarine sandwich, the one that got him the game winner in San Diego. Anyway, Aeros lead at 4-2, and we'll have more from Bradley Center after this. Welcome back to Bradley Center. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. A 4-2 hockey game here in the second period intermission. Hope you're enjoying this one. You know, hockey's a fast game. At times it's physical, a lot of crashing and banging and grinding and all that. And there's some bumps and bruises, but a lot of it is eliminated because of protection. And in the first period intermission, we showed you goaltender equipment. But how about the forwards, the skaters? Well, Dr. Charles Baker is going to show you that as we take time out for good health.
Time Out for Good Health is presented by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation. A new commitment in healthcare together.
Welcome to Time Out for Good Health. Just as conditioning is an essential to help avoid injuries in sporting activities, so is having the proper equipment. Let's go downstairs and talk to Jerry Mines about the equipment that the Aeros use. Ice hockey is a very high-speed game. If you've watched ice hockey before, you're aware that there are some real collisions that take place. An important factor in preventing injury to the athletes is to make sure that they have proper safety equipment and that it's worn at all times. With us tonight is Jerry, and Jerry's going to talk a bit about safety.
Thank you, Dr. Baker. Hockey players wear equipment that is rather unique, but still very similar to what the equipment of an American football player would wear. Basically, they're encased in protective equipment from their head all the way down to their toes. They wear a helmet, which protects their head. Some even have facial shields that go around the front and protect their eyes and their nose. Most of your players will wear mouthpieces to protect their dental work. They'll wear shoulder pads to protect their shoulders. They have specially designed trunks or pants that have protective equipment built into them, which encases their midsection and their anterior thigh. They wear shin guards, which protects from any kind of blows from sticks or pucks against their anterior shin. And they also wear specially designed skates with protective padding and equipment in special spots.
Be sure to remember that if you're going to participate in a sporting activity, to wear the appropriate safety equipment to reduce your chances of injury. Please join us for our next session of Time Out for Good Health.
Time Out for Good Health was presented by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation. A new commitment in healthcare together.
Welcome back. Thank you very much. And it's a 4-2 hockey game, and let's take a look at the scoring summary brought to you by Columbia Hospital. And in that first period, Scott Arniel got his 19th of the year, 13 seconds into it, made it 1-0. Mark Fear getting the assist, and then the Aeros made it 2-0 after Kevin Dineen got his 6th of the year at 3:34. Dave Tippett and Scott Arniel got the assist, and the Aeros had a 2-0 lead. They made it 3-0 as Oleg Shagorodsky got his 5th of the year. He's played outstanding tonight. 9:35 the time of that goal. Maurice and Arniel had a 3-0 lead. But here come the Admirals as Tony Herkus got his 18th of the year. Made it 3-1 at 9:55. Pat McLeod and Gino Cavallini getting the assist. It was made 3-2 thanks to Chris Govaderis, the guy we featured at the top of the telecast. 29th of the year at 11:26. Tom Lack and Dobbin getting the helpers. That's how we were after one period. Let's move to period number 2. No scoring through most of it, but with a minute and a half to go, 18:26 exactly the time of the goal. Mario Chitteroni from Oleg Shagorodsky and Clayton Young, a power play goal, and the Aeros lead this hockey game by a score of 4-2. When we return, we'll have highlights and more next. We'll have more from Bradley Center right after this. Welcome back, Bradley Center, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it's a 4-2 hockey game in favor of the Houston Aeros. Barry Warner and myself here. Good hockey game, and I'll tell you what, not a lot of scoring highlights in that second period, but we'll take a look at the highlights we do have, and they are brought to you by Toyota. And here come the Aeros as this was a nice power play goal. Look at Shagorodsky right there, but tipped by Chitteroni.
And this is something they work on in practice. Yesterday, before the game in Kansas City, they had 2 lines with 4 on a line taking shots at Robbie Dopson, just working on the rebound drill. They fake the slapper, and then Oleg lets it loose, the tip, and we waited once again for Mason to go down and commit himself, and it's the second time almost in the same spot where Kevin Dineen got it, where Mason goes across the crease, and then Chitteroni is around 5 or 6 feet further back up ice, but just ripped her in the net.
Now, we were kind of talking about the Chris Govaderis goal, yeah, Barry, and the fact that we thought maybe it was an error on Jake's. It's not the case as we take another look at Chris Govaderis. Watch what happens.
Well, what ends up happening is they grab the stick of Mike Yeo, and Yeo was supposed to take him there. His stick was grabbed, and poor Jakesy was left, and I ripped him. And not only is that for Steve Jakes, that's for the captain of the team, Curtis Hunt, who I know is watching at home right now. He's very painful lying there in bed with that back situation, and we've maligned the defense. So, Curtis, we want to let you know, when we find out exactly what the situation is, we got to tell it the way that it is. I made an error in judgment there. Yo had his stick grabbed, and that actually propelled the player for the Admirals up ice a little bit quicker, and that resulted in the goal. But one big thing, Adam, you made a key point during your play-by-play, talking how the forwards are doing a better job. They were up too high. Now they're starting to come back, and voila, when that happens, all of a sudden the defense looks impregnable.
Let's take a look at the second period stats brought to you by High-Low Auto Supply. Shots were 7-6 by Milwaukee in that period, and Milwaukee still out shooting the Aeros 20-12. 4 penalties for Houston for 16 minutes, as were the Admirals. And the Aeros now 1 of 2 on the power play, and Milwaukee 0 of 2 on the man advantage. So an outstanding period for the Aeros. Now, going into the third period quickly, Barry, do they sit on the lead or do they build on it?
No, they're going to build on it. They have got a 3-0 lead wasn't safe. Why should a 2-goal lead be safe, especially against a team that has lost only 10 games all year long?
I think with a road lead, 2-goal lead going into the third, watch for the Aeros to go into their trap. We'll have more from Bradley Center after this. Welcome back to Bradley Center in Milwaukee. What a great building. This is the finest facility in the IHL. It rivals, in fact, just about every complex in the National Hockey League. I think a lot of people say that the Anaheim, the pond in Anaheim is the best right now in the NHL, but this rivals anything. You've got, first of all the doors are made of oak, and marble floors and monitors all around here. And in fact, the main concourse, which is the other side, it's where the player benches are, that side, but back in the main concourse, they've got this huge telescreen. It's got like 10 monitors that make up one giant screen. And quite frankly, Mr. Pettit and his crew have done an outstanding job. As you can see, the VIP boxes that go all the way around this building. It's just a first-class complex here, and it's a lot of fun just coming here to be in this kind of building.
I mean, I feel like I was walking to someone's home in River Oaks or at a memorial as we take a good look at the owner.
The former voice of the Chicago Blackhawks, Lloyd Pettit. And his son, Doug Pettit, is the voice of the Milwaukee Admirals. And he, by the way, he picked up the tab for this building. I don't remember what the price tag was. Someone told me it was like, I don't even want to throw out a number. I can't even remember. It's $77 million, I'm told. And you know, the thing is he did it just to give it to the community. That's the kind of guy he is. And we talked about the fact, like, he doesn't believe in the ring boards being sold here. That's why there are no advertisements on it, no ads in the ice. We're ready to start third period action. Puck is in Milwaukee territory. Dave Tippett behind the net, trying to center one. Denis shoots. Great save by Bob Mason, and he went down to reject that like a bad habit. And here come the Milwaukee Admirals now. Tomlak across the line, trying to flip it along the boards. That's intercepted by Robinson. Through the zone, though. Now it's bounded into the circle. Goaltender fights for it. Goaltender between the circles. Shoots right on. He'll kick that baby out of there, and it's all the way down the ice. Boy, that play was about as ugly as a block punt on the 2-yard line. Now it is Painter on the right side. Gave the puck away to Denis, and then Denis is tripped up, and no penalty is called. Well, I'm definitely watching a different hockey game here as it's Goaltender spun off the biscuit, and now Freer trying to fight for it. And here's Carl Valimont now behind the cage. Quick pass, Shagarodsky. Oleg rink wide for Freer. Mark Freer, who really hasn't been heard from tonight, as a glove save made by Mason. He'll spin it along for Gino Cavallini. And out at center ice it'll go. It'll bounce back into Houston Aero territory. Here's Oleg Shagarodsky. Great game from him tonight. Shot to the line, not out. Here's a chance now, Herkus. 2-goal lead's the most dangerous in hockey. Here is Graeme Townshend now. Across the line, at it, chipped away by Marcinishin. Dave Marcinishin to Brad Rowanka, trying to get it to Herkus. He's bumped by Arneal. Freer's got it now. Here's Freer to left point, rolled it down, but that's picked away by Rowanka, and he'll scamper up the right wing. Rowanka, hand it to Tony Herkus, cuts to the slot, rolling over. Cavallini, sharp angle shot, and a blocker save, run out of there by Gamble. Now the puck in the corner, centered. Here's a one-timer, Herkus fan on it, and now Arneal got a couple of guys to beat. He's watched by Rowanka. He says, all right, I'll just gently roll it back in Milwaukee territory and come off for the line change. 2 minutes gone in the third. 4-2 hockey game. Puck given away by Milwaukee. Valimont, though, almost returned the favor. Here is Jakes, hoists that high in the air, and back is Rowanka. Rowanka to the near side for McNeil. Hands the puck up for Joseph. Shoots it right on Gamble. A stick save. And now it is Robinson working out at center. Picked up by Tomlak. Make that McLeod, rather. That's Pat McLeod. Backhand one into Aero territory. Out of the net, it's Troy Gamble. Trying to leave it for the first one back. Jakes, but it was jammed away by McNeil. Fabian Joseph centered. Here's the chance in front. It was overskated by one of the Admirals. I think it was Matt Block that overskated it. Now Brian Pellerin across the line with Yo and Young, but gave the puck away, and McLeod shoots it out at center. Here come the Admirals. Left side, Mackey drills one right in there, and Gamble gets a pillow on it, and it's shot back down the ice. This will be icing on the Houston Aeros. McLeod to touch and play whistled down with 17:11 to play in the third, and a 4-2 hockey game. Aeros lead it.
Adam, during that shift, I watched specifically number 8, Mike Yo, and you can rest assured of one thing. He was not going to make the same mistake again. He was all over the ice defensively, making certain that he was helping out and communicating with the defense. And that's where a rookie, I mean, a year ago, this guy was in junior hockey, living with another family, boarding, so to speak, and now he's playing in the eye.
Face off to the left of Gamble. Drop of the puck. And now it is Kevin Grant for Houston. Runs one out for Kevin Denis, and it goes down the ice. Here is Painter now, back in his own zone, watched by Dave Tippett. They continue to grapple near side. Painter got it to center, and now Valimont trying to bat it down. It's picked up by Tippett, trying to spank that ahead. In there is Kevin Denis, and Painter fell on top of the puck and play whistled down. I'll tell you what, Barry. 4-2 in favor of Houston. Watch Kevin Denis eventually here as things move on in the NHL. If the NHL season canceled, I think he'll pick up his play. Let's take time out, though. 4-2 Houston. We'll discuss that when we return right after this. On with Barry Warner, Adam Warren with you. Here's Eaves, Tippett, Denis with Valimont and Grant. Face off top of the near circle. Aeros win the draw. Valimont top of the slot. Quick shot. That changed direction now. As Dineen trying to fight for the puck, and it's banked out to center ice. Carl Valimont, the former Milwaukee Admiral. He'll boom one in there. Marcinician trying to clear. And it's knocked away by Tippett, jammed along the boards. And now Tomlak turns left side. Mike Tomlak at center ice. Brings it in across the line, trying to drop it back. Here's Goaltender, right in a goal. Shooting, he went upstairs and missed the net. Now the puck along the boards is Grant going at it, skate to skate with Tomlak, fished out with Tippett, and he'll bank one out at center ice. Marcinician back in center to Painter. Painter for Dobbin. Shoots it into Aero territory. Kevin Grant has to hustle back, shouldered by Goaltender with just about 4 minutes gone in the third. Houston on top 4-2. Kevin Dineen. He'll shoot it into Milwaukee territory where Wenka goes back for it, and he'll turn it around for Milwaukee. Up the right wing boards, Wenka. Wrapped up by Mark Freer. It goes into Aero territory. Out of the cage, Gamble slowing for Jakes. Runs one to the near side for Robinson, rather. Robinson for Scott Arneal. Trying to hit the line. Does so. In on goal. Shooting. And he just ripped it wide of the net. Nice play by Scott Arneal. The three-time now All-Star for the Houston Aeros. He'll be going to the All-Star game in a week or so. As Couturier a drive, and that's high and wide. McLeod rolls one in, and Robinson unloads on McNeil, or make it Cavallini with a big check in open ice. And the puck goes back into Milwaukee territory. Wenka and Herkus go after the puck. Quickly shot to center. Cavallini can't reach for it. And Oleg Shargorodsky will hustle back. Carry it behind the cage, skating away. Here comes the big rush into the near side. Yo hits the line. Yo trying to move it around. Mike Yo in through Matt Block. Can't move it any further now. Pellerin in a battle with McNeil. And play whistled down. 5 minutes gone to the third. Houston up 4-2.
And goal number 4, a power play goal on a rebound by Mario Chitteroni, giving the Aeros that 2-goal lead with 14:54 to go.
Well, the same people that brought you some of the best shows on television are now debuting their own network coming January 16th. It's the launch of the first network for the new century, UPN, United Paramount Network, and it will be right here on Paramount 20. Well, you got a sack of potatoes you want to unload on? How about like this? Boom! He pops him down to the ice so fast, he drilled him into the ground without sharpening him. Here's Painter now, back behind the net. And he'll move the puck up the left side for the Milwaukee Admirals, who trail by 2 here. Puck in Aero territory. And now the Aeros come to center. Clayton Young, he'll just gently dump it in. Will Mason come out and play it? Yes, he will. Mason quickly rolls it ahead. Now it is chipped away by Fabian Joseph. Ahead for Dave Mackey. Mack, a cross-ice pass for McNeil. He takes a huge hit by Clayton Young and was almost introduced into the penalty box. On the corner to the right of Gamble. They go at it for the puck. In there is Joseph. You can hear him clicking along there. That's the sound of the boards right in front of our crowd, Mike. The guys in the truck, Aaron Silverman, Tim Sinclair doing a fine job bringing you the action tonight. You can hear it and feel it. And the Aeros feeling its 4-2 lead right now. Puck is in Aero territory, and Oleg Shargorodsky back behind the cage. A quick pass out to the right side for Kevin Dineen. Dineen now. He'll shoot it into Milwaukee territory. Out of the net, it's Mason. Look it over to Matt Block. And the Admirals bring it up. Here's Goaltender in across the line, trying to muscle through Kevin Grant. Goaltender dropped it back, but Maurice quickly flicked it away. And the Aeros wasting no time. You can see how quickly they get the puck, and then right out of the zone it goes. Here's Ken Sabrin now. He'll hoist one in. That's blocked by Robinson. Quickly turned around, and here come the Aeros. Robinson. He'll shoot it in. It'll go down into the near corner. Out of the net it is Mason. Trying to add it to block. Jammed away by Maurice. And gave it away. Tippett shooting right on the rebound. And there was Dineen. And another chance goes awry as he overskates it. This kid has had so many chances in the last few games. Now Goaltender center to pass. That's blocked by Robinson. Here's Robinson, and a pass for the laboring Kevin Dineen. I need a line change, and off he comes. Icing is the call with 13:10 to play here in this third period. And our score, as we will return, it's Houston Aeros 4, Milwaukee Admirals 2. More from Bradley Center after this. Welcome back to Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Face off to the right of Troy Gamble. Mark Freer trying to win the draw for Tony Herkus. It's picked up by Chase. Up the right side. Trying to move it ahead. It goes back into Milwaukee territory. Roenkedow back to get it. He's watched by Arneal, and here's Sylvain Couturier, right side ahead for Cavallini, played by Herkus though. Now Cavallini's got a chance, shooting, great save, Gamble. Came out about 7 feet to cut down the angle. Now in the corner, Couturier in a good battle there in the corner. Townshend trying to lug it out of there. He'll fish it through skates and work the puck ahead. Jakes up the boards for Mark Freer. Can he clear it? No, but Arneal will. 2-on-2 for Scott Arneal. Can't get it through the skates of Cavallini. Here is Arneal again. Scott Arneal in a battle. Puck frozen and play whistled down with 12:25 left in the third. 4-2 Houston, and what a save by the Gamble kid right there, rolling the dice with a nice stop.
Gino Cavallini just lets it fly. He fakes the slapper, goes with a wrist to kick out saving. Cavallini, who has got 27 goals, number 3 in the I, also has 6 game-winning goals, which leads the IHL. Very quietly, Adam, number 27, Rob Robinson, not to be confused with his alter ego, Larry Robinson, is playing an outstanding fundamental game tonight.
Face-off at center ice. Aeros have got. Here's Oleg Shagarovsky. Up to the head, but McNeil there to jam it back in Aero territory. Campbell had a little trouble with it, but he had help in Kevin Grant. And now it is popped to the line and out at center ice. And Mario Chinaroni working hard, but McNeil's going to stay with him. Good play there. And the Aeros are going to be whistled dead on the offsides. Ew, the Aeros, Mario Chinaroni. He's got those big eyes when he sees that puck, and he will work with the best of them trying to get it. And watch how he just grinds it out here with Mike McNeil.
And you know how hard that is on skates to jump up over someone, split through, come down, accelerate, and try to fight your way. It is tough enough to do just on a basketball court trying to slice through 2 defenders, let alone with blades on. What a marvelous, marvelous athlete Chinaroni is.
He's got the 4th goal in tonight's game as the Aeros win the draw and shoot it into Milwaukee territory. Mason out of the net to slow. Here's Ken Painter now. Kent Painter. They're trying to get it out of the zone. His pass to Joseph. Goes into Aero territory. Out of the net, it's Gamble. They quickly swing it to Chinaroni. And now the Aeros have a 2-on-2 break. Clayton Young with Pellerin. It's dumped in. Pellerin goes in after it. McLeod's there, but so is Mason, the goaltender. He'll clear it as the boards rattle and hum. And here is Shagarovsky now. Can't play it. McNeil is there. He's in there with a battle with Valimont. Puck was centered. Now the puck comes to Matt Block, barreling in. Waits, turns, backhanded, score! Matt Block. He went around the Aero defense, and the Milwaukee Admirals are within 1. It's 4-3. Now everybody, and they're going at it. Matt Block has dropped the gloves. He's jumped on one of the Aeros. I can't see who it is. Pellerin's in there, and right now Elton John does think that Saturday night's all right for fighting as they're going at it to the right of Gamble. They're all locked up now, and Pellerin took exception to that goal or something after the goal, and that doesn't matter as Milwaukee now back within 1 at 4-3 with 11:28 to play in the third.
Matt Hervey Block, the American-born in Whittier, California, with a nice backhander, making it 4-3. Pelly's going to take a little rest. See who joins him.
Well, Block, I think, may have taken the worst of that. But injuries and pains and other aches from a fight seem to be that much better when you score a goal, as Matt Hervey Block did right there. I don't know what really happened on that play. We'll get a chance to look at it again, and you can see where Hervey Block, he's not known for dangling like this, but this kid was dangling like a pair of fuzzy dice from the rearview mirror. Watch this.
Bobs and Eaves. Notice how he controls the puck and then lifts the backhander through the 5-hole.
So Hervey Block gets the goal, and for Block, that is his 2nd goal of the year and only his 6th game. And I don't know what is going to come out of all the fisticuffs here, but the crowd standing in front, and I think it should be 5. Crowd, I don't know what they're yelling. Oh, they're yelling Civ. Well, it's amazing. One night you're a hero for the team you play for, and the next night they're all over you like a bad habit. So now the Aeros.
9 green, okay.
Here you can hear the call here.
9 green. 15.
That's Clayton Young.
2 minutes for cross-checking.
2 for cross-checking to Clayton Young.
Okay. 28's going to get 5 for fighting.
Pellerin is going to get 5 for fighting.
Okay.
Now let's see what he calls for White. Right now 7 minutes of penalties. And I don't know what's going to come out of it, but right now Pellerin 5 for fighting, Clayton Young 2 for cross-checking. The goal counts. And we're getting the calls right now. There's the Young call, the Pellerin call.
2 minutes for roughing, 5 minutes for fighting. Penalties.
So everything evens out as you hear there. Everything's a wash, so we'll go 5-on-5 hockey. The Aeros getting outshot 26-16. I think at this point now, the Aeros are going to have to come back and try and get another goal here. They lead it 4-3 now with 11:28 to go in the third. Crowd doesn't like the call. And now we're going to get a 10-minute misconduct. And this is a big call here. A 10-minute misconduct now to Gino Cavallini. So he's, for all intents and purposes, done for the hockey game, and he can sit down and take his 45 points with him. Crowd tonight, 12,917 is Phil Whitliff, the head coach of the Milwaukee Admirals, has a bit of a concerned look on his face. So for the year, 181,293 at Bradley Center. That's an average of 86.33. Don McAdam, the assistant coach, or as they call him, the associate coach here, hands up wondering why a wash? Why the 10-minute misconduct? Why ask why? Face off at center ice.
It's safe to say the Aeros got the better end of that deal.
No, they gave up a goal. They got the short end of that deal.
Well, as far as the penalty situation is concerned.
Here's Rob Robinson now. He'll play the puck behind the net. Aeros need to get it back. Because Milwaukee, I think, is going to get a little more momentum now as Robinson rolled one out at center. It goes back to the Milwaukee blue line for Brad Rowenka. Cross-ice pass for Marcinician. Fired for Govaderis, and now the Aeros intercept that play as it's Kevin Grant steers it into Milwaukee territory. Govaderis can't accept the pass. Marcinician just sends it back. So the Aeros aggressively forechecking with Eaves and Deneen and Tippett. We're at 5-on-5 hockey at 10:53 to go. Brian Dobbin shoots it into Aero territory. Gamble out of the net, can't slow. Here's Govaderis, right side, bumped by Tippett. Now Tomlak trying to center, but the Aeros able to clear it out at center ice. Center, Dobbin spanks it into Aero territory. Gamble comes out. He'll spin it along the boards for Kevin Deneen. He'll just wait and blast it at center ice. McLeod takes a big hit from one of the Aeros. That Eaves, yeah, he came in with a nice check, and it's back into Milwaukee territory. Kent Painter in his own zone. Weaves a pass for Herkus. Shakes off the Arneal hook. Brings it in. Herkus dropped it back for Bice. An ill-advised pass, and Arneal gives to Freer now. Hits the line with Townshend and Arneal. Freer across the line. Quick shot. Glove save made by Mason. Roll it over to Painter. Kent Painter to center ice. John Bice moves it up for the Admirals. Gave the puck away. He lost it. Now Arneal can't advance it, though, as Bice has Arneal all over his case. And then Mason has it stripped. Here's Arneal. Takes a solid check by Painter behind the net. And it's finally rolled for Tony Herkus up the left wing. His center ice pass goes to Shagarodsky. He'll have to hustle back. 9:48 to go here in the third. Aeros lead it by a score of 4-3. Oleg Shagarodsky now. Weaving through traffic. Oleg shaking off a check. Oleg is determined to carry the puck tonight. Oleg across the line. Shoots it into the near corner. The Admirals have got it. Right side, John Bice gave it away, and he'll shoot it right back down into Milwaukee territory. Looks like right now the Aeros are more content to just dump and chase. They're not really as content to set up and carry across the line. Mike McNeil, he gives the puck away. And now Rowenka trying to clear it. Comes to Tomlak near side. And Tomlak gives it to Rowenka. Rowenka up the right side for Tomlak. Across the line, getting set. He centered one. It came back to Ken Sabrin. His drive spanked behind the net. And now it's Rob Robinson. 9 minutes to go in the third. 4-3 Houston. A pass for Chitteroni. That's intercepted by Sabrin. That'll go up and out of play. And whistle halts action here with 8:47 left. Here in the third period, it's 4-3 Houston. We'll have more IHL action after this. Along with Barry Warner, Adam Gordon with you. 8:47 left in the third period. Houston leading 4-3. and in some aspects kind of clinging to that lead as they've been just dumping and chasing here. They haven't really put a lot of pressure on Mason in the last couple of minutes, especially after Milwaukee scored the goal to make it 4-3. Pocket center ice. Here's Tony Herkus now back to his own blue line, watched by Eaves. Herkus give it to Ken Painter. Out at center for Dobbin. Jammed it back into Milwaukee territory, and the Admirals have got it. It's wrapped in the line, not out. Thank you, Mr. Linesman, for holding it in, says Kevin Deneen. Now the Admirals have to go back. Brian Dobbin. He'll send it into the corner for Marcinician. Out at center ice, and here comes Tony Herkus in over the line. Herkus gave the puck away. You know, in this period, I've seen fewer turnovers in a New York deli. Here is Painter now. He'll roll the puck over to Marcinician, and back is Jakes trying to roll it ahead, and it's back into Milwaukee's bench with 7:54 left in the third. 4-3 Houston.
Aeros need to get a goal here, and it's not even an insurance goal. 4-3 in their building, rather precarious.
Now, what do we got coming up here? Joe Ernst has got a penalty, I think, on the Admirals. Does he have too many men on the ice? Right now he does. He's got 7 of them out there, but I think right now they're just trying to figure out what is what. Well, Townshend's going in, but so is Goaltender. Well, how does this sound? Whatever the call is. Let's pick up the call here.
Number 77, Chris Goaltender, both 2-minute minors for roughing at 12:06.
Okay, well, this makes things kind of interesting because you got Goaltender gone for 2 minutes, which is fine. That's not a bad trade with Townsend. But you've got, listen to this, you've got Goaltender who's in for 2 minutes, 43 points, actually 44 with his goal tonight. You've got Cavallini with his 45 points. He's gone for 10 minutes. He won't be back for another minute and a half. So you got the 2 top guys out of the lineup. Does that mean you sit on it? No, it means you go after it. We'll see what the Aeros do now, but top 2 scorers in the penalty box for Milwaukee.
And Scott Arniel with 1 goal and 2 assists on the ice.
Now, face-off at center. Next action on KTXH. Denver Grizzlies next Friday at 8 o'clock. Then Saturday, January 21st, the Cleveland Lumberjacks in town. That's a home game. KTXH will carry for you 7 o'clock, and then the Kansas City Blades from Kemper Arena on the 25th at 7 o'clock. Barry Warner and myself will bring you all the exciting action. Looking forward to that game from McNichols Arena. Here is Oleg Shagorodsky now. 7:50 to play in the third. Aeros on top 4-3, and now Arniel in a battle with Roenka. And the Admirals go back. We're going to go 4-on-4 for 1:48 now. Here's the puck in Milwaukee territory. Pat McLeod up the gut, a pass to the left side. This is Herkus. Back to get it is Oleg Shagorodsky. Oleg, a pass batted down by Arniel, and now it is Shagorodsky for the Houston Aeros. Oleg fired it into Milwaukee territory, out of the net. Bob Mason now. Roenka. Oh, it came out in front. Great save by Mason. Oh my! Houdini couldn't come up any more spectacular than Mason there. He had no idea. It was more of a reactionary save, and it looked like he was doing aerobics as he kicked that left leg up, and he makes an outstanding save. Oh my!
I thought Arniel was going to get goal number 2. Freer behind the cage. The puck just bounces off. And right there, an opportunistic Scott Arniel thinks he has a second goal. But a great kick save with not once but twice as the puck was up in the air. And Mason kicked it with a blade.
Jane Fonda would be proud of that kick. Wow, that was outstanding. And that is a game-saving stop right there. Here's a puck now jammed right on, and Mason makes the stop. Now it is picked up by Tom Lack, and he'll carry up the gut. Tom Lack, hooked by Maurice, shoots it into Aero territory. After it's Robinson, Dobbin takes him hard into the corner. Here's Tom Lack behind the net. Tom Lack looks in front, whacked by Kevin Grant. Tom Lack cuts right in. He's knocked down. Penalty coming up to the Aeros. Mike Tom Lack working and digging and kicking and scrumming, and he's going to earn the penalty, and Kevin Grant doesn't like the call, but the Aeros are going to be down a man here, and that's a big call. Tripping coming to the Aeros.
And they're letting Kevin Grant have it, the former Milwaukee Admiral.
This was really all hard work by Tom Lack. Kevin Grant trying to stay with him, and you can see Tom Lack, and you can see Kevin Grant there. Trips him up. Face-off now. This is a big opportunity, folks. Mark this point down. 6:47 left in the third. Houston 4, Milwaukee 3. We're going to go 4-on-3 for another 54 seconds. Then the penalties to Townshend and Goaltender will expire, and then we'll go 5-on-4 for a minute 6. Face off to the left of Troy Gamble. Big turn of events here now. And now you've got Tomlack and Valimont getting just a wee bit feisty. And now face off, won by the Aeros, but it's sent to the far boards. Tomlack back to the line, McLeod. Here's Tomlack for the Milwaukee Admirals, trying to center one. Tony Herkus to the line. Werwinka getting set. Back along. Here's a centering pass. Herkus, wow, had the one-timer, but the puck stuttered for a second. Werwinka wide, shoots, beats it, Gamble, rebound! Oh, hit the side of the net. Oh, wow, McLeod jammed that off the side of the cage. Great action here from Bradley Center. Werwinka across the ice for McLeod, but it's intercepted by Robinson. He'll bank it to the line, not out. Now a chance. Here's McLeod, center, Herkus shoots, scores! Tony Herkus, power play goal. We're tied at 4. Great goal by Herkus. 2 one-timers.
And all caused by the inability of the Aeros to clear the puck. Robinson tried to clear, he couldn't get it out. The puck stays alive. They've got the power play advantage. And Herkus, who was denied the All-Star game, gets his second goal. We take another look at it. The slapper by Herkus just lets her fly. And Troy Gamble, very dejected, sitting down on the ice as it is now a 4-4 game.
What a great action. A lot of great action here tonight. 4-4 hockey game. Don't go away. 6:05 to go. Still, we're going 4-on-4 now for another 5 seconds. It's Jake. Gave it away to Couturier. It was centered. And now back is Kevin Aneen along the board. So the Aeros had a 2-goal lead, and they've let it melt away. And I just reiterate once again how important a 2-goal lead is. But not enough, as the Admirals have tied it at 4. Here is Goaltender now. Back out on the ice at center. Deneen trying to wrap it away, and now it is Dave Tippett across the line. Tippett trying to barrel in. He's knocked off the puck, and the Admirals have got it. It's cleared to center. Back is Oleg Shagorodsky. That's what happens when you sit on leads. And the Aeros right now, that's what makes things really tough, is you're so accustomed, as the puck frozen along the boards, you're so accustomed to sitting on leads. Now all of a sudden you're called upon to score.
And we said at the midway point of the period how the Aeros had to get more offense, that a 2-goal lead was not enough.
Well, it's enough now to make it 4-4. 5:24 left. We'll bring you the final 5:24 after this. Face-off center ice. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. Boy, it just seemed like it was yesterday. The Aeros had a 3-0 lead in the first period. Let it melt away to a 3-2 lead. They made it 4-2, Houston did. Brought a 2-goal lead into the third, but the Guns have been quieted. I think Simon and Garfunkel has the sounds of silence all of a sudden ringing into the Bradley Center. Puck is in behind the netters. It's Clayton Young trying to get it to Maurice. Tied up by Werwinka. Here's a chance now for Pellerin to play the puck. Pellerin to Mike Maurice, trying to work it down. Here is Clayton Young, base of the left circle. Young center, the one-time shot by Maurice, a weak one. Pellerin now fighting for the loose puck. He's in a good battle along the boards. Finally a centering pass as Maurice was pumped into the net by Werwinka. Play halted with 4:45 left in the third. 4-4 hockey game.
Pellerin had a stick taken away down there. He thought he was going to be able to get the puck out to the side boards to Mike Maurice, but the stick was just grabbed by Werwinka.
Face off. Will be in Milwaukee territory. Tony Herkus, 2 goals, 2 big goals off one-timers. Each one of those goals, I think, had a message to the IHL on it saying, what? No All-Star game? I don't know what. I guess it's tough, too, when you knock it down and you're only getting 18 players. Tough.
57 points coming into tonight's game. 40 of them assists. Wow.
Shows how stacked, actually, the Western Division is. If this were the Eastern Conference, I think you'd see Freer and Herkus playing. now some jousting between Sylvain Couturier and Mark Freer, and they're tossed out of the circle. Face off to the right of Mason. Here's Arneal, wins the draw. Townshend trying to center one, but nobody home for Houston, and the Admirals come to center ice. Couturier blasted in. Milwaukee looks very confident right now after they've etched themselves back into this thing. McLeod at the pass to the right side for Kent Painter. Up at center for Couturier. He had it swept away. Freer can't advance it. Now Herkus. Lead pass for Bites. Wide shoot. Ooh, that changed direction. Shagarovsky got lumber on that. Now it is Arneal. Steers to center ice. Here's Freer across the line with Townshend. And Painter takes him into the boards. A hard check there. And now Painter jammed it along the boards for Couturier, and he'll chip it back at center. With Kevin Grant, a bouncing puck. He's down to get it. And he'll fire it back into Milwaukee territory. 4 minutes to go in the third tied of 4. Tony Herkus, rather, for the Admiral, shoots the puck in, and back is Kevin Grant with 3:52 left. Robinson at center for Tippett. And he'll bring it down the left side, shoot it into Milwaukee territory, back to get it Eaves, trying to play with a puck now. He's bumped by Sabourin. In there is Kevin Dineen, fights for it, trying to cut out in front. Dineen getting muscled by Tomlak. Dineen centered it, but Tippett wasn't there where Wenko was. Now along the near side, Tippett fighting for it with Brian Dobbin of the Admirals, and finally at center, here comes a 3-on-2 break. Across the line, Tomlak. Goaltender right in on goal. The shot hit the side of the net. Oh boy, it's all Milwaukee right now. They are coming at them. They've had the chances, but the Aeros still working hard. Don't take anything away from Houston. They just haven't gotten the quality chances in the last couple of minutes. Brian Dobbin, right side, pass at center, intercepted by Valimont. They'll just shoot it back into Milwaukee territory with 3 minutes to go. 4-4 our score. Here is Fabian Joseph for Milwaukee. At center, Joseph shoots it right off the skates to Shagarovsky, and Oleg will hustle back behind the net. And now Milwaukee sets up in their neutral zone trap. They're going to try and force the Aeros here. Watch now as the Aeros trying to move it out. Puck to the right side. They force some more, but there's the gap. Is good interference run by Pellerin. He had McNeil tied up, so the Aeros are able to shoot it in. So that's a way to maybe to neutralize the trap a little bit. Now the Admirals able to clear it out. Mackey. Cross ice pass, picked up by McNeil, shot into Aero territory and cleared by Oleg Shagarovsky. Kent Painter now shoots it into Aero territory. Gamble able to slow it, but not corral it. Mackey pinned along the boards. It's lugged out of there by McNeil. In there is Clayton Young with 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Mackey at the hash mark, shot right on Gamble, save, rebound, knocked away, and the net becomes dislodged. Oh, right now, the Milwaukee Admirals look very, very hungry. 2:05 left. 4-4 our score. A face-off to the right of Troy Gamble. Here is Freer with Townshend and Arneal. Sticks down, drop of the puck, and it's controlled by the Houston Aeros. Rob Robinson carries up the right side. Robinson shoots it into Milwaukee territory. Walenko goes back for it. Ripped it along the boards, not out, held in. Kevin Grant on, shot down, and there is Mason trying to slowly prevent that from drifting into the jaws of the twine, and we'll hold on. And now some more discussion going on, and we've got the Yalta conference going on in front of Mason, and a face-off to the left of Bob Mason with 1:50 left in the third, tied at 4.
You notice who was trying to start something to get a penalty on the Aeros? Sabourin, number 55. And to his credit, neither Arneal nor Graeme Townshend would fall for it.
Face-off to the left of Bob Mason. Gee, do you think the face-offs are important?
How about huge?
Every single one of them. Freer against Herkus. Drop of the puck. Freer wins it. Cleanly now it's played by Arneal. Slips it back to the line, and oh, Kevin Grant went without the puck, and that comes out at center. So Robinson booms one right back in. 1:39 left. Walenko near side. Bumped by Townshend. Gave the puck away. Arneal right in a goal. Shooting. Oh, a great save by Mason. Centered again by Arneal, and Sabourin clears it. Not out. Townshend wrapped it down for Freer. Centered in front. Tapped away now. Herkus high off the glass to the line. Not out. Grant wide. Shoots right on. And Mason. A great glove save. So the Aeros and Scott Arneal and Kevin Graeme and Mark Freer, all of them out there doing a fine job. And with 1:18 left, we're tied at 4.
And the shot on Mason by Grant proves how an athlete can tune out pain. A game is on the line. We saw last night how Grant could not extend. Arneal, thinking he's got goal number 2 with a backhander, just goes up over the cage, and Grant lets one fly from the point, and he brought the stick back further than I thought he could.
Face off to the left of Mason. Eaves way down on the shaft of the stick against Tom Lack, and a big face-off here. Can the veteran win it? Yes, cleanly back. Valimont wide, shoots right on. Glove save made by Mason, but he saw it the whole way. Nobody in front of the screen. 1:10 to play. Aeros now all of a sudden they've gotten a little hungry as they've created some chances. Puck turned over by the Admirals. Turned around Valimont, but picked up by McLeod. Rumps to center ice, dumped it into Aero territory. Back in the far corner. We're down to the final minute. Tied at 4. Eaves trying to clear it to the line. Not out. Painter wide shoots. That's blocked. Now it is Dave Tippett. He'll chip that up, and that is out of play. And the face-off will remain in Aero territory. And I'll tell you what, I'm sure Dave Tippett would like to have that one back, just trying to get it out of the zone. But now the big face-off here, and then Goaltender goes after Eaves. I don't know why, but now everybody kind of gathering here. I don't think penalties at this point, especially with Tippett out there. You don't want to lose a Tippett. You don't want to lose a Dineen. And let me reiterate another point here, Barry. We're looking at a shootout, okay? With 49 seconds left, tied at 4. If you get a 2-minute minor, you're done. You don't get to be used in the shootout. And you've got Kevin Dineen out there. You've got Murray Eaves, for all intents and purposes, who had the big game winner in San Diego. You got some quality guys out there. You can't afford to lose. You've got to keep your cool here.
Tippett and Eaves have won games for the Aeros in shootouts. They don't do you any good sitting out.
That's the rule in the IHL. If it's under 2 minutes to go in the third and the game goes to a shootout, but you pick up a penalty, face-off now to the left of Oleg Shagarodsky. Or did I just say to the left of Oleg Shagarodsky? The reason I said I'm looking, they give you the 3 stars here early. It's Herkus, Arneal, Shagarodsky is your 3rd star, and I was looking at that. It's the face-off to the left of Troy Gamble. I'm having a cerebral cramp. Face-off top of the near circle. Drop of the puck. Aeros has got it. I don't have it. They've got it. Here is Kevin Grant right in front of the cage. He'll skate it out of center. Grant chipped it into Milwaukee territory. Back in the near corner, Dave Tippett. First one there for Houston, but it's picked up by Dobbin now. Brian Dobbin across the line. Goaltender, but he hands it over to Tom Lack. Bumped along the boards. Dineen trying to clear it. Came to center, and now Freer's got a chance. Freer with 24 left in the period across the line. Here's Dave Tippett shooting far side. Just drifted it wide. Grant takes a chance, and he held it in, but Dobbin now will shoot it down. This is icing. This will be icing. Robinson hustles back with 11 seconds exactly to play, and that brings a face-off to the left of Bob Mason. Oh, man. I'm going to need a manicurist after this one. There are no fingernails left for this one.
Woo! None of my knuckles, Adam. This has been a terrific hockey game. Aeros jumping out to a 3-0 lead, leading at 4-2. 2 unanswered goals by Matt Hervey Block and by Tony Herkus, his second of the evening. 4-4. We got 11 seconds to go, and a face-off to the left of Bob Mason.
I don't know what Terry Ruskowski is upset about, but he has been upset all night about something. And now, oh, he wants timeout. Okay. For a minute there, I saw Joe Ernst skating over, and he gave the unsportsmanlike conduct thing. I thought maybe he was going to whistle it, but it's timeout for Houston. So basically, the Aeros using their timeout, and with a face-off to the left of Mason, I think at this point, do you want to try and get it to the point, or do you want to look for a guy like Arneal to finish in front, maybe? Hard to say. Here's a top secret message for all squadron leaders. You and your troops can support the Houston Aeros war effort. Great seats are available for all games for groups of 20 or more. You can enjoy special group pricing and see your company name in lights on the scoreboard. Squadron leaders receive an Aeros t-shirt, and everyone in your group is eligible to win prizes in the group sweepstakes. Enlist in the Aero Force. Call 627-AERO. 627-AERO. The battle is underway. Call 627-AERO.
And the team is home Thursday night against the Minnesota Moose. Friday night, we're at Nichols Arena for another game on Channel 20.
7 o'clock face-off Thursday from the Summit. The Aeros and the Minnesota Moose. Get your tickets right now. Here we go. Freer, Arneal, Dineen, Valimont, and Shargorodsky at the point. They've got Dineen and Arneal stacked in the slot. They've got Freer to take the draw. Right wing boards will be Valimont. Shargorodsky at the right point. I think they're going to put the Russian sickle to work here. And everybody locked up in front for Milwaukee, in front of their goalie, Bob Mason.
The screen, and what a holy grip one. Look for a rebound.
Okay, big face-off here, though. Aeros need to win it if they want to get a chance. Drop of the puck, they can't win it, and that'll be the hockey game unless the Aeros can quickly turn it around. They will not. And we will go to the shootout. Shargorodsky back at center. Freer, horn sounds, and the Houston Aeros will go to a shootout. So, a 4-4 score, and we will bring you the shootout next after this. Houston 4, Milwaukee 4. We're going to the shootout, and I know you're sitting there saying, gee, how does the shootout work? Let's take a look, shall we? You'll get 5 shooters from each club, okay? If there isn't a winner after each shooter of the 5, it's a best of 5. If there is no winner, then you go to sudden death. And then you just keep going. Now, the Aeros at least are guaranteed a point tonight. Okay, and so are the Admirals. Both teams are guaranteed a point. If whoever wins at the end of the shootout will get the extra point and come away with 2. And for Houston, this is a big, big opportunity for them because they need the 2 points after losing 5 in a row. So at least a 5-game losing skid, Barry, that's over. But they'd like to at least, or I should say, 5 games without a point. Now, facing him is a chance here. Mark Freer will take the draw. He'll move it right to left. He'll face Bob Mason. You have to keep the puck moving ahead of you. You can't pull it back. Here is Freer. He'll start it off on Mason. In on go. Wait, shoots. Great save, Mason. Freer makes just a little deep, trying to tuck it 5-hole, and Mason makes the stop, and now Chris Goaltender. Now Milwaukee, I think, has got a bit of an advantage here because they know Troy Gamble. And Troy Gamble needs to come up big. Goaltender now across the line. In on goal. Wait, shoot, scores! 1-0 Milwaukee. And we move to the second round of the shootout. Here is Mike Maurice against Bob Mason. Milwaukee leads 1-0 in the shootout. And here is Maurice in on goal. He waits, shoots, scores! Mike Maurice ties it at 1. And now Milwaukee will get their second shooter, and it will be number 14, Mike McNeil. The big right winger, 6'1", 190 pounds. And he'll bring it across the line. McNeil in on goal. Shooting, great stick save by Gamble. And we're tied at 1 after 2 rounds. And here is the man, baby, Scott Arneal. A goal, 2 helpers on Mason. Here is Arneal. In on goal. Arneal, he waits, turns, and he lost the puck. It's really tough when you lose the puck. You at least want to get a shot and force the goalie to make a save. So it's still 1-1. And the third shooter for Milwaukee is Brian Dobbin. Here's Dobbin across the line. 11 goals on the year. Works right in. Wait, shot, scores! Gamble got the piece of it, but Dobbin tucked it past him. 2-1 Milwaukee. And here is Murray Eaves. $10 says he goes to the backhander. Here is Eaves. He'll bring it across the line. Eaves, waits, shoots, scores! $10 for you, Barry, but it's worth it as he went forehand on Mason. Top shelf where Aunt Emma keeps the pickles, and we're tied at 2. And here come the Milwaukee Admirals for their chance now. Fourth man, Tom Lack, across the line, tied it to, Wade shoots, and Gamble sprawling for the save, and who will be the man here? Barry Ruskowski says, give me Kevin Dineen, yet to score in the shootout. Interesting move here. Thought maybe he'd go with Tippett, but he's going to give Dineen the chance in the shootout. Here is Kevin Dineen with a goal tonight, in on goal, he waits, shoots, hit the post. And a frustrated Kevin Dineen bats it into the crowd. Oh, Kevin. Now, Gino Cavallini. How big is this? This guy had a 10-minute misconduct expired just before the end of the game. So he's going to get to take the shootout. He can win it here. Gamble needs to come up here. Fifth and final shooter. Cavallini, team captain. He will gallop with the puck. Cavallini in on goal. Cavallini waits, turns, shoots, Gamble, the save, and we'll go to sudden death. And I won't even look at the bench, and it'll be Dave Tippett. And Tippett will come out. And he'll go in on Bob Mason. Here is Tippett now. Can he be the hero? He'll go in. He'll wait, shoot, scores! Dave Tippett. And the Aeros now lead in the shootout. 3-2. And here is John Bice. Bice with limited ice, but twice as nice if he can come up here. Wow, that hurt my tongue. I think I sprained it. Here is Bice now across the line. In a goal, shooting, scoring! 3-3 our score. What a hockey game. Back and forth we go. And now it is Clayton Young. We're tied at 4 in the hockey game, tied at 3 in the shootout. Clayton Young wasting no time. Young across the line, goes in on goal, shoots, and he missed the net. 12,917 standing. And now it is Dave Mackey, former St. Louis Blue from last year. He'll hit the line. Mackey in on Gamble. Mackey waits, shoots, missed the net. And the Aeros like a cat with 9 lives there. And now it's Mario Chitteroni. What a game. Here is Chitteroni now across the line, in on Mason, waits, shoots, scores! Mario Chitteroni, 4-3. And it'll be Sylvain Couturier against Gamble. Oh, what a game. Couturier now, he'll pick up the puck, across the line, in on goal, he waits, shoots, great save, Gamble, and the Aeros will win it in a shootout by a score of 5-4. Gamble, larger than life as the Aeros come up to congratulate him, and the 5-game skid is history.
Adam, poetic justice. They were yelling Sib, 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 doing the tomahawk chop that you normally see with the Atlanta Brave baseball team in the direction of the former Milwaukee Admiral, Troy Gamble, who was not supposed to start. But Terry Ruskowski went with Gamble tonight. He's played in this building. He felt without the shootout that he could do it. And Troy Gamble, who came up so big, coming out further than normal, and whatever sins and transgressions went to the 5-hole, as we see Troy Gamble signing the jersey that he wore here at number 35 to one of the fans who still thinks he's a hero, not a Civ, but a hero tonight for the guys in green. Adam, I venture to say this is a huge, huge win with a capital 8.